Hey, Sam. Hey, baby D. What a crazy night. Hey, Ivory. Sam, are you still being used as an experiment? Hey,
Not our
Ivory.
social experiment down there. Look
It's
at you.
crazy.
I know. Well, let us know how
Absolutely.
that goes.
Because it won't let me
You
invite her.
can't even you can't even like try and submit a ticket to TikTok anymore because I tried to open one like a month ago and I kept writing them back and they wouldn't answer me. They just refused and then closed it.
Wow.
Yes, underneath my sink. But can you clean up my makeup that you used on my counter in the bathroom?
Tell her when she's done to come clean mine up.
Well, listen, you want to know how you know my kids never got beat a day in their life because I'm sitting there. I cleaned all day because we were away for the weekend. I cleaned all day. Okay, it was my husband's birthday. Made a nice dinner. Cleaned all day. Scrubbed my bathroom. I go in there. Not only did my kids take my makeup, my expensive makeup, they're gonna use it, but then they're gonna leave it out open all over my counter in my bathroom that I just cleaned.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Like they're not even trying to hide it.
Yeah. Wasn't that that was quite the live.
That was so interesting. All right, guys, come on in. Share it out. Share it out, guys. Nobody's seeing these lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need
Share
to
'em.
have a talk, guys. Come and talk. We need to talk. Share it out. We
We
need all our
definitely
people in here
and I've just
because
had a feeling about that for a while, but I know I know some people probably didn't agree with me talking to him, but I just felt like I wanted to know how they were raised.
yeah. I mean, listen. I'm one of those people like his past, unless it had something to do with her, and it didn't. Really, I mean, it has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Makes no sense.
No, not at all. Not at all. But it was very interesting for him to actually come out and really do a live and share all the details. And if people can't see that I feel he's telling the truth. I think he's telling all that he knows.
I do. I believe that he's telling the truth as he knows it. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you.
We were both on Elizabeth Sider's brother's panel.
And for people who were sitting there saying he's doing this for clout, what clout is he getting? I didn't see one gift thrown. I
Yep.
didn't see. There's no GoFundmes. There's no like. What clout is he? He already, and listen, I know this for a fact. Um, he already had a following, right? He does his own
Yep.
thing on
Yep.
TikTok. So, and again, the truth that he was telling even made himself look bad, but he was being honest. So, I mean, I don't understand why you wouldn't listen to the guy. If you're really looking for the truth, you don't judge where the truth comes from, right?
No. And if you
And
don't ever talk to him, you don't ever know.
he could have sat there, and there's a lot of things that I'm like, how I know he's telling the truth? Because there's a lot of things that he could have changed or said or exaggerated that he didn't. When I asked about his family, and he was going off on his family, he was a little pissed. And listen, family drama, it's their own thing, right? He could have made up lies. The parents are obviously mad at him, he's mad at the parents, but he could have lied and said, yeah, my dad did this to my sister and my brother did this, and he didn't do any of that. There was no exaggerating. I asked him questions. He answered honestly. You know what I mean? Like, even if it didn't go with what it just seemed too honest because there's things that he could have twisted if he wanted to, but that would have made a hell of a story
And you want to know
if he
what
didn't.
really got me? He was asked so many questions in so many different ways and never gave a different story.
Yeah, that's true. You're absolutely right. He kept saying the same thing over and over again. But before we go, guys, let's go. Let's get this out there. Share it out with everybody and repost. I want to hear everyone. I want to know what people got to say about this.
Oh, I
I'm
do
really
too.
curious about people's perspective on this one. Like,
I
this
really,
is one that we're going to have to wait for it to drop because I'm sure that this is going to be a story.
yeah,
I can't see your chat.
I can't see the chat now either. Hold on. Let me turn my camera off. How do I turn my camera off? Hold on.
Hey, Call.
Put the picture I sent you and don't crop it, but the whole thing, I made it so that you can see the chat. That's why the background's black like that.
Oh, okay. Couldn't
But
find it. Okay, hold on.
yeah, I thought that it was very informative. I thought it was actually very brave because he's been attacked unrightfully. I found it kind of some people in there going and saying one thing prior, trashing him basically, and then being in there. I feel it's important to get the full story before people make assumptions about anybody.
And he was absolutely honest when he was like, if I find out that my sister was absolutely doing this on purpose, then no, I don't support her. But, listen, there's no, and again, I keep saying this, you can be both a victim and a perpetrator at the same time. In fact, that's more common than not, right?
Right.
There's no one going to tell me that this woman was not a victim. She was married off at 15. She wasn't even old enough to be emancipated. The law said, you know what? This is the age to be emancipated. She wasn't even there yet. So they let her get married. To me, it makes sense that his parents were young. And listen, I don't know if there's anybody in here who was I was a young mom. I was also an older mom, right? I've been a mom straight through. And I know my parenting differences between the time from when I was younger and what I am like today. I was a completely different parent. You know what I mean? Just because my experiences, life, level of understanding, patience, it all grows with you. You know what I mean? So to be a young parent, have all that stress, like, I get it. So, you know what I mean? Like, I believe that there was abuse there because it shows because you let her get married at 15 because she wasn't old enough to even be emancipated yet.
Well, and you think
So
about
I
it, he
agree.
went home to Georgia.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I believe him when he was like, my parents just didn't want to deal with us. Yeah, that makes sense to me in my book. Does that sound like there was nothing that I heard in what he said that I feel like was a lie. And someone can come up here and tell me if they thought they heard something or, try to make it look like he was looking for clout. I mean, the man went through his entire record. What clout is he getting off his felony convictions? You know what I mean? So it's just the
Yeah.
hating. People want to hate, and it makes me so mad.
And on the
Well,
run now.
it's also like how they've been talking about, like, oh, are they inbred? Are they this? You're kind of grouping a small town that may be low income and saying everybody there is white trash, basically.
First of all,
They're less than. They're
yeah, you're making assumptions because it tells a better story. Or, you know what? Not even to say that. Maybe that just makes sense to people, but I don't want to put out there stuff that we don't know is true. And I've seen nothing but these misinformation just going everywhere. And there's nothing that frustrates me more when it comes to true crime is because people are coming at me with these things. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Where are you getting this information? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the problem to me. Like, let's not make something into nothing. It's one thing to talk and discuss about it, but let's not create a situation that we don't know or can't verify yet.
I 100% agree. And some of the things that he told, he didn't have to tell, but I from the beginning, I just kind of felt like there was something going on in that house for them to let their daughter get married.
Yeah, and he pretty much confirmed it. And again, he was a kid. He might not really know what was going on behind the scenes with mom and dad, but he just knew they weren't what they didn't feel wanted. You know what I mean? And so it was just easier to let her go. Yeah,
Yeah, you're coming out a little bit, but go ahead.
not if you're talking now, we can't hear you.
Okay. It okay. It makes sense.
We cannot hear you, Sam, or at least I can't.
I can't either.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you can? Okay, it makes sense if she had a bad childhood upbringing to cling to wanting to have a child of her own at a young age and attaching herself to a toxic relationship family.
Yeah. And I want people to understand this, okay? When you're 15 years old and you're put into a marriage. I'm 46 and it's really hard for me to deal with a marriage, right? To really take on a marriage ain't no easy task, right? And then you're talking about parenthood. So she was married and 2 months later she became a mom to a baby. Like at 15 years old, like that's a lot happening right there. That's enough to drive anyone, you know what I mean? That's psychologically a lot. Now, you're going to take this girl who, again, was living there for 2 years and then all of a sudden was moved away for her entire family. And everyone's like, well, she should have known better with those kids. You have to remember something. Just like those children were dependent on the adults in the house for survival, Elizabeth too was dependent on those adults in the house for survival, just like the children. Like, really think about that. She was dependent on Gary for survival.
Yeah, she okay, say she did get out. Okay? She has 16 children. She has no prior job experience. 16 children. You
You're
know,
breaking up,
it's
Sam.
scary for her. And okay.
I feel like, do I think that the abuse that, do I believe his story that they were abused as children? Yes. Yes, I do. Because the allowing her to get married at 15 kind of just supports that, in my opinion. Now, do I believe that the abuse that she had played a part in her relationship and her marriage? Yes, I do. Because she was trying to want to run away from one bad situation and she ran right into another. We've all seen that happen how many times? In fact, a lot of people have been involved in situations like that, right? Now you're sitting in the situation where, again, can I tell you that it was his parents, Christine or Lynn and Gary Sr.? No. Do I think that maybe at some point the tides have turned and, maybe something happened? But I mean, she was dependent on them for her survival. She came into the situation as a child. The older kids had social media. My question is, why didn't they post something? Because you, they may have had social media, but who were they talking to? You know what I mean? Like,
And
can
they're
you imagine? Let's be real. I was born in the 80s. Anybody else get what? Because I got beat with a belt.
yeah.
Okay? My parents did not play. It was, you know what I mean? Like, it was, you did something wrong, bad enough, and like, you got hit. You got spanked. I was born in that generation. All right? And can you imagine? It's not like we don't know that they had close relationships with people on social media. They were just posting to post. Now, what were they going to do? Someone help me. I'm starving. Someone help me. And then what? Dad catches them. And then what? What happens when dad finds out that they did that?
Right, and they're so young. You can't sit at, yeah, you can say, well, why didn't they? But you're not in their mindset. They have a lot of, probably, in my opinion, emotional issues. You can't say, You know, growing up, my dad always taught us you don't talk to the cops. Like, what happens in this home stays in this home. And it put a fear in me and as an adult now, I know that's like that's the wrong thing to kind of think. But as a kid, I didn't feel comfortable because I was scared of what repercussions were going to happen. Because I believe my parents, I'm not knowledgeable like an adult. My brain wasn't fully developed, just like theirs.
Yeah, and to say that those kids were responsible and should have said something on Facebook. Do you know how many wives get beat in domestic violence situations but don't call out for help? How many people in abusive situations are scared to ask for help?
The most dangerous time to get away from a DV situation is when you get away. It is the first few months of separating, too. It's not even in the home, it's when they're out and they get tracked down.
Now,
I was sitting here talking and I was muted the whole time. But I just wanted to comment. I searched until 4 o'clock this morning, and the number of those children, and I know for a fact it's verified. I researched every post that was made was about unaliving themselves, how miserable they were, conversations with the siblings back and forth. It was so much that I started like at 11 o'clock, and at 4 o'clock, I had to put my phone down.
do you have any of those? Can you
I do.
show us?
I do have those, yes. Yeah, let me figure out because I'm on my phone. I don't want to put their names out there. Yeah, let me figure out how I can do it. Keep talking. I'll figure something out real quick.
Okay. Now, I keep hearing people, and someone brought it up in the live with Joey tonight. Now, people keep saying maybe that wasn't like this the entire time. Maybe something changed, right? And all of a sudden, the house was. First of all, I'm curious to know their history of like renting homes. Because if this house was in this condition, and this is something they did the kids' entire lives, then there's got to be complaints and police reports that they destroyed the house. Like, there has to be something to show that these people live like that. Now, part of me wonders if mom and dads, Gary Sr. and Lynn, weren't trying to take care of these kids, and something, you get older, you get sick, right? Things happen. Did something happen, and then all of a sudden, the son decided he was going to take over, and everyone now was dependent on him, and he just feels the power, right? You know what I mean? Like, you gotta wonder. That makes sense to me. It makes sense on why this wasn't reported or found out, or there weren't complaints earlier. I really do believe that maybe mom and dad weren't the bad people. I know people keep looking at this Gary Sr. guy and saying, "Oh, he's because of the way he looks," but the way someone looks doesn't mean that they're bad people, right? So I really feel like, is it possible that, yeah, they were trying to take care of everybody, and then they got too sick too. The son had to take over, and he just decided, this is going to go my way.
Can we touch on the conjoined twins? Because it is confirmed that the two twin daughters that passed away, they were conjoined. Can you touch on that with the medications typically, Ivory?
So, yes. So I'm going to tell you, we got any other nurses up in here? Where's Blanche? Someone send this to Blanche. Let me send this to Blanche. Because I know she does, she's talked about it, guys. I'm not doxing her. She's a nurse, and she does labor and delivery, and I would really love her input. So if somebody can send this to Blanche, because I would love to have her up here, to see what her thoughts are. So her last 3 pregnancies were twins. In between one of the deliveries in 2022, I think it was, Sam, she had a set of twin baby girls that were conjoined, and that passed away. Now, three sets of the three sets of twins towards the end just seems like an awful lot of twins happening. Now, could twins happen the older you get? Yes. Could twins happen the more pregnancies you have? Yes. Three back-to-back twin, it just seems like the probability that this happened without any kind of assistance is wild to me. Like, I'm curious if she wasn't taking Clomid or medication to quicken the pregnancies and to get pregnant right away. Because you also got to remember, there's a period, I mean, there's only so much time you cannot get pregnant after a pregnancy, and she literally barely gets out of that time in the postpartum period. You know what I mean? She got pregnant right away after babies were born. And I'm wondering if they weren't trying to, like, the probability of having twins and then a set of conjoined twins and then just all of these pregnancies, it just, part of me wonders if there wasn't some kind of medication assistance, like a Clomid or a fertility drug. Does that make sense? Because it just, the probability, the medical probability of that is just really high. That these deliveries happened the way they did and these babies were born and conceived the way they were. And I don't know. It just seems like she was a lot fertile. You know what I mean? So I feel like, was there some kind of, were they giving her something to try and get her pregnant to make sure she was getting pregnant right away? And that right there, I even asked Joey this, guys, and nobody really knows, right? Why do they want these children? I don't know. Could it be money? Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, are you really making that much money and then you got kids you don't want? It's the why they wanted all these kids that didn't make sense to me. And I'm gonna tell you, I have 10 kids, right? I have a lot of kids. Um, and my whole thing is, it is very emotionally taxing, physically taxing. Like, being pregnant so many times and having such a large family like I do has taken a lot out of me physically. Like, my hair, you know what I mean? My teeth, I literally, like, it just takes it all out of you. My heart, just my body in general, the muscles, the aches, you know what I mean? Like, physically, it takes a lot out of you and emotionally. And I don't know why she would want to keep going through that, without a breather, without a break. Anybody who's been pregnant knows what I'm talking about. You need a minute. You know what I mean? So I don't understand who wanted the babies and why. Um, it just, why? It just doesn't make sense to me. They could, right, but then they weren't getting money, so why continue with the babies? You know what I mean? And, like, how much money? I mean, look at the house. Like, how much money? So she had the babies in a hospital. She wasn't having these babies at home. Yeah, look at the Duggars, but I mean, let's be real. Well, what was the motive for the Duggars? Well, number one, they were all politically, very extreme, religious people. They had a show, so they needed to continue having babies, right? They played it into religion, so there was a motive behind that. That large family gave them a lot of money, a lot of notoriety, right? So what was the motive for this? Why the constant children? And I don't think it couldn't be just her, because if he didn't want the kids, right, that it would have been, it's very simple. You know how pregnancy is prevented, unless she wasn't able to prevent them. And then, medically speaking, to have that many pregnancies is actually very dangerous. You risk your life at a certain point. Your placenta starts thinning out. There's a lot of complications that can happen when you're talking about getting into 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 pregnancies. Because, again, I have experience with this, right? I had to tie my tubes after my last one, or not tie my, they scooped those bitches out and burned them. But after my last one, they were like, it's going to risk your life if you get pregnant again. I cannot deliver another baby from you. They were like, you can't have any more children. We need, like, I really would consider doing something about it, because the next time can be dangerous, right? You may not survive the next one. And so I did. So for that many pregnancies, it puts her life in that much danger every single time. It just sounds, I don't know that she would choose that. Because at some point, the doctor's going to be like, this is becoming a danger on you. It's becoming taxing on your body. Your heart's got to pump out extra blood while it's pregnant. And when you're constantly pregnant, your heart is constantly pumping out extra. It's working overtime all the time. So medically speaking, like, I'm surprised that there's no way she had one doctor and one hospital that delivered her. She was definitely going around to different hospitals
And
because,
she's very thin, considering she seems very thin. And I'm not, there's some people that are thin, but, I don't know, for 16 pregnancies, she seems very thin and frail herself.
when you look at her face, you can see it. You can see it. And I wouldn't be surprised if someone said right now that she had serious medical problems from it. Because, thoughts on it being marital. Yeah, I mean, but why? Why unless Gary's just trying to collect kids like Pokemon, you know what I mean? Like, was he just like, were they going to do something with these children? And I'm not saying they were. I'm just saying the question you have to ask is, what was the benefit of them having so many children? And the girl wasn't even getting a couple of months break in between pregnancies. I mean, back to back. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, she wasn't even out of her postpartum period. She's pregnant again.
Part of me wonders, because they stated it was in the hospital, and maybe this state did turn a blind eye, and they're partially to blame. Like, sometimes they turn a blind eye to children that are given back to their parents after foster care and something horrible happens. If these children were paychecks for these people, because he did state that neither Gary Sr. or Lynn had jobs ever. They were on SSI. So it makes me wonder if she was used for more income in that sense.
I mean, it's definitely possible, but I don't know.
I'm not saying the kids got SSI. I'm saying Gary Sr. and Lynn were on SSI when Elizabeth moved in with them. They did not have jobs.
Ivory, I'm trying to figure out which one, and I know I can get to it on my phone, and I'm trying to get to it on the iPad, and I can't figure out exactly how to put it in there without showing everything. So I'm trying.
Okay, Panini Pressed wants to know if she can have a box for a second. Is she up here?
Hi guys,
Oh, never mind. Here she is.
I'm here. So, you were mentioning about how she might not have gone to the same doctors. I'm gonna kind of get personal here, and talk about a little bit of my past life. I was in addiction. I have 10 years clean now. Thank God.
Congratulations.
But I found out I was pregnant, still in active addiction. And I was really scared. I was scared to ask for help during that time. And I pushed it off and I pushed it off until finally I came to, it was me and my baby. Like, that's what mattered. So I finally got the help I needed and I got a doctor. The trauma that I went through, now, don't get me wrong, my doctors were amazing. They made sure my baby was amazing. He's happy and healthy and thriving still to this day. He's 10 now, but because of being so scared during that first pregnancy and because of what I was doing, I also have 2 other kids. And for some reason, the trauma from that first pregnancy, I went to different doctors for both of my other pregnancies. So I see it very possible that she did not go to the same doctor for all of them, that she jumped around. Who knows if she even got the prenatal care that she needed, or if she just went into the hospital, had a baby, and then disappeared again. It's really sickening to me, and I feel so bad for the children. But I did want to jump up here and say that I don't know, by the looks of it, there could be possible addiction of some type going on in that family. And she very well could be moving around just to have the kids so that no one knew.
So I think you're absolutely right. There could be addiction, right? We don't know
Yep.
that.
Yep, we don't know.
Now, again, we're just saying this, guys. This is not anything that we're saying as a matter of fact. I haven't seen anything. In fact, I saw something that actually said they didn't play a part. However, if they did, right, then you would have to think if if you're using and you're pregnant, then you're pregnant while you're using, right? These babies are being born addicted. If you're giving
Yep.
birth in a hospital to a baby that is addicted, right then and there, something is going to be done. They're going to take action in the hospital, right? They're going to usually
Most of the
intervene.
time, yes. But I will say, in small towns, even if the mother is still in addiction to the day that she gives birth, if you go in, give birth, they can call CPS. The mother can walk out with the baby. At least in my town, there's been many issues with it. Thankfully, things are changing now. But for a very long time, they would go have their babies, walk out, and it would take months to find them again for CPS to get them and get a hold of the baby and something to be done. I don't know how big that town is or what the hospitals have in place. It's all very scary and very heartbreaking to me. But I did just want to come up and say that. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you coming up here. Thank you for that.
absolutely. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I feel like the more we hear, we know that more information is going to come out. I feel like we're going to be surprised with the stuff that we're hearing because it just there's a big piece of this puzzle that is just not fitting. And that's the fact that if you didn't want the kids, because you're locking them in a basement, right? And you're not feeding them well and you're not taking care of them and you're not enjoying the parenting of these children, why would you keep having them? You know what I mean? Like, why? There's got to be a reason why you benefited from having them. And really, that's the question everyone should be asking. What was the benefit of having these children? Obviously, they didn't want them.
Absolutely. And
So you got
the money
that.
theory that you were talking about, it didn't look like they had a lot of money to show if you look at the house.
Exactly what I said. It's not like they were out there spending all this money they were making off the state with these children on cars and clothes and walking around with, Louis Vuitton, they did nothing. What did they have?
Nothing.
That it would be so I don't know if I believe too much that it was a monetary benefit. I personally believe it had to be some kind of psychological benefit because that's the
Yes.
only thing that makes sense to me from what I'm seeing that's available to us.
I had a really gross, oh my gosh, my phone. I had a really gross theory that I'm not going to say on here. It'll probably go against TikTok guidelines, but it had to do with the men and what the men could do with those children. And like I said, we just gotta wait and see what comes out. There's a lot they haven't put out yet, and I hope they do give out all details because these people are disgusting.
Right, I agree. Now, I know there's a lot of theories going around talking about the inter-family relationships that people are assuming happened here. And while
Yeah.
I get it, because I mean, it makes sense because we're all trying to find a reason on why these children are there. Like, why did you decide to have them?
Yes.
You know what I mean? It makes sense. However, if they were doing that, I just feel like just the two of them, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't. It doesn't. No matter, I've come up with probably 15 different theories, and then I get stuck on one part and it doesn't add up. So that theory kind of goes out the window to me, so it's all confusing. But I really appreciate you guys bringing awareness to this and sharing all the information that you guys have come across, because this is a story that needs to be told and getting out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're right. Dreamer is in here saying we can't assume the kids were SA, and I'm absolutely
Yes.
not assuming. I only, people bringing it up, and I understand why they're bringing it up, though. Dreamer, really think about it, because for this crime to make sense, there has to be a benefit of having so many children, and I think people are looking for that benefit to answer the question of why did it happen. And I think the only thing, I mean, monetary, I don't see it, right? Like, what do they got? And, the SA thing, like, if they were selling the kids, I would get that. But if they were selling the kids, trust me, there'd be people all over right now, small towns talk. You would know about it. So they
Yeah.
weren't out there allowing others to come in and do anything to these children like they had any ring happening. You know what I mean? So if there's no ring and it's just a personal thing, that's a possibility.
Yep.
But I mean, why there's so many? That don't make sense. I mean, why so many of them?
It doesn't. Well,
Maybe
I
there's
am going
one.
to drop down and keep listening. Thank you very much for letting me come up.
Thank you so much for being up here. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful night.
Good night. So like, I mean, really, guys, in the chat, all right, I need y'all to throw something at me. Somebody give me something. What would be the benefit of having all these children? What are they getting out of it? Is it a psychological thing for him? Like, I'm creating my own little Siders army? Is it because he was doing something? I mean, give me the reasons why you think that these children even exist in the first place. Because that's really the question that needs to be answered to find out what's happening. I'm curious about the condition of the children. They did say that 2 children, 7 of them were admitted to the hospital, right? 2 of them were life flighted to a trauma center. So now that too, what was the reason? What was their condition? Were they SA'd and they had that kind of condition? Were they, just so dirty and sickly from malnutrition? Were they being beat? You know what I mean? Like, what was the condition of those children? Because that's a question I want to know too. In order to find out what we're even dealing with here, we got to know, well, what was their condition? Why did they get life flighted to a trauma center? Why were they in such dire need of medical care at that moment? Were they being physically harmed? Were they being SA'd? Were they just hungry and starving slowly? Like, you know what I mean? That's another one of those questions that we won't know until we just need to get an answer for that. I mean, we could speculate all day long, and because they're kids, I don't know that we're even going to get that. It just, I don't know. It's just sad. I can't, Shisha, can you pull?
Oh,
Okay.
I honestly feel that I don't know if they were receiving any type of food assistance, housing. Who knows? Something's normal people, and I'm not saying like we know they're not normal, but normal people, even not normal people, don't have that many children. And there is a limit.
What you trying to say, Sam? What you trying to
Well,
say?
I'm saying you're not normal. I'm good with 3. I have enough.
We didn't need anybody to shout that out. We all kind of knew that. Go ahead. I'm just kidding.
Hey, but what I also wonder too, some of them maybe have delays, and I know people are stating, well, they didn't, they were kind of left behind from the state, right? But is it possible, because like getting SSI for a couple of these kids, they could have cleaned them up? It doesn't mean that they have to go to therapy. It means they got a diagnosis from a doctor and they submitted the paperwork, and then they go to the SSI doctor and they confirm it, and then the SSI starts.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely possible.
Because
I
Josie
want.
did
I
mention that a
wonder
couple of them got it.
how many more kids she would have had they not got busted when they got busted.
Well, considering the fact that her last set was what, 18 months ago? You gotta wonder why she hasn't been pregnant in 18 months.
Well, I
Because
don't
she
know.
would have been.
I have, my aunt. She had a lot of kids. Never used birth control. Never tried to stop a pregnancy. But after her ninth or 10th, ninth kid, she just never got pregnant again.
I mean, she is getting older, but still she's young enough to. That's a question though. You know what, Dreamer? Dreamer, that's a really good question. It's been
Yeah,
18.
I don't know. They blocked me because I guess somebody was being sarcastic in there, and I said, "Well, you need mods," and that's when they blocked me.
They at 18 months old, she should have had another child already if you go by her history, right? Every year she's had another baby. Why hasn't she had another one?
I don't know. Like I said, my aunt just, even though they didn't try to prevent a pregnancy because they thought it was God's work, they were supposed to keep having kids. She just never got pregnant after the 9th one. And she was still young enough to have kids because they got married kind of like them really, really young. They were about 15, 16 years old when they had gotten married.
I tried to tell them, Dreamer, to unmute you. I will send a message because I actually recorded that part and you didn't say anything wrong. So, just so you know.
I did too. And the girl told me no. And I saw Dreamer coming on her back up. I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, I don't know why they blocked me. All I said was because some people, I guess they were pissing people because they're being sarcastic, and I says, "Well, you need mods." I didn't think I said anything wrong. I just said they needed mods, and next thing I know, it says you're blocked by the creator.
I shouldn't laugh.
That's man, Dreamer, you can't go anywhere. But honestly, that's a really good question though, guys. Why hasn't she had another baby?
Do you think it was because maybe the conjoined twins maybe affected?
She had babies after that. She had 2 sets of twins after that.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm concentrating on trying to pull this up on this other device, and I'm not having any luck on finding things.
How about when I get home, I will upload it for you. I'll take off the names, tell me the video you want uploaded, and I will send you the link, the Dropbox link in Discord.
Okay, what it is when you go in there, there's probably a good 50 videos. And when you go in and you look at those and you listen to them because they'll play, and then you have to click on the message and see what she types. Like there's so many
The
times
one
that
you sent me, right?
yeah, it's the black profile one.
Yes. Yeah. You sent that one to me, so I can do that.
Hey
Okay,
guys,
awesome.
let's keep on tapping, especially if we're going to be showing these videos as soon as she can. Let's get these hearts up. Let's tap until our fingers numb thumbs, guys, numb thumbs. Numb thumbs. And if you guys can send a daily heart me, guys, let's help She Shed push her live out. Thank you so much. But here's the question, guys. Tell me, did she not have another baby? Why does she have no child? Because it goes against everything she's done for the last 18 years.
Hold on a minute. How long? When was her last child? I don't have it right in front of me.
18 months ago, 2025.
Okay, and they're saying that all this just kind of started coming to a head a couple months ago? Or he got
Wait.
sick like in the last year or two?
Who got sick?
The grandpa.
They can't
couple of
confirm
years.
that though. They said they don't know who that profile is, so they don't know if it's troll.
Okay, got you. Okay. Because I was just thinking if, and this is just saying, if that is true, let's just say, for allegedly, let's just say little Gary couldn't even have kids, but Gary Sr. could.
I mean, that's a possibility, but then. Yeah.
I don't see that, but I'm just saying.
I don't. My.
Can I tell you guys something really quick?
Yeah.
I just saw a deer, and I've seen 2 raccoons and a possum driving.
If you pick them all up, you'll have a farm.
What were they driving? Sorry, I had to.
That was good. That was good.
I still think the dad is involved. People want to say that Gary Sr.'s involved because of the way he looks. You know what I mean?
They were driving
Do I
a
think
Mini
he could
Cooper.
be involved? I mean,
No, I'm kidding.
in some way, shape, or form, Gary Sr. is involved. He was in the house, right? But let's talk about the sister Linda. The sister Linda who, I mean, the children are in there. We're going to say that for some unknown reason, Gary's sisters didn't know what was happening behind the doors of that house. Nobody ever questioned why they didn't have a kindergarten graduation, why nobody had a birthday party, why nobody had gatherings for Christmas or Easter or holidays or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, those right there, if my brother had a baby and I never heard anything about attending a first birthday party or, Christmas or Easter, I'd start asking, where is the baby?
Right.
Like, you obviously had a relationship with them. You showed up at their house. You took pictures. You're loving them so much. So you guys didn't gather for normal holidays. You didn't have holidays. That wasn't a thing. Like, there's just so many questions I have on why nobody knew. You can't tell me that woman was sitting on that porch taking that picture and didn't know what was happening in that house.
You can't tell me that either. I don't care. And that house did not get that way in 2 months.
How many bedrooms did this house have? Do we know?
I overheard
It was-
somebody say it was 5 bedrooms, but I don't believe that. I think it was too
Wait.
small for a 5-bedroom.
It was like 11.
It was 1,300 square feet.
Is that enough room for 5 bedrooms?
No,
No.
they'd be very small, makeshift bedrooms, maybe. With a divider wall that they put up like a sheet, maybe. My question
We won't
is,
know that till all the DNA's done.
okay, have we ever thought of this? Why does Gary Jr. still live with his mom and dad? Is there something intellectual? Is he intellectually disabled himself?
I was thinking that, but I was thinking more along the lines of You know what? That's a really, really good question. Why was he? It had to be because of those children. How did they benefit from those kids if it wasn't some kind of fetish, like some kind of illness, some kind of sick, twisted psychological fetish?
Or he don't know no better. And I'm not excusing what he's
Oh,
done.
well,
He's a
yeah, but
predator,
then
in my
that means
opinion.
that you're allowing these at 18 years old they got married. So you allowed your kid who had no wasn't smart enough to do anything in his life to get married at 18. That just came out wrong. Don't know, but you guys know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, 1,300 square feet. But and then the house only had one bathroom.
That's not, with that many people in the house, 16 kids, and all of them one bathroom.
Okay, well, let me tell you this, and I'm not going to say how I know this. So I do know a family, and there is 13 people that live in that house. There might be more by now. And I know that on the top floor is only 3 bedrooms, and they're small bedrooms, but then they divided up the basement into a couple of more bedrooms. Could that be a possibility, maybe?
I don't know, because they said that when they got the kids, they were talking about the room that they were in, that the floor was ready to give out. And I believe it's had to be the basement.
But the floor wouldn't give out in the basement.
No, it had to be the upstairs floor.
It would have to be the upstairs
But
floor.
then to me, that just shows that they were trying to they put the kids in the basement because of the hazards upstairs. Could this just be a case of the parents got too old to help? And I don't know, man. I don't know.
So could they both be victims of the parents?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
But after listening to, he was talking about their upbringing, the fact that they were abused themselves. If she grew up in an abusive home, then she gets married, and they were apparently abusive to her. I think it was a case of,
And that makes sense. Going from one abusive household and feeling comfort in another abusive household, that makes sense. How many people were abused and the first thing they do when they go off on their own is they go to another abuser, right? A situation where they feel comfortable.
and
Well,
I think she was groomed.
my therapist said you are attracted to chaos because that's what you grew up in and you learned was a normal thing was chaos. So you have to unwire your brain to be attracted to the chaos because that's a comfort to you, even though you don't want it to be. In some instances, that's all you know, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact nobody wants to have 16 kids, and I think she was groomed. I think she was mistreated by them, and I think she kept having kids out of fear.
Now, I don't want to sit there and say that she didn't choose to have these kids. Maybe she did. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie. If I didn't have to stop having children, I probably might have had another child or two. I enjoy parenting. I love my kids. My kids are cool. They're fun. I truly enjoy parenting, right? I take joy in parenting. I love it. Um, so, I don't want to sit there. Maybe she did want the kids. Maybe she was in a controlling situation and that felt like she had some control over that. But it couldn't be that either because then if he didn't want kids, I don't know, man. I'm
Well,
trying to
the
look at
thing
this
is, if
from
some of those kids are disabled, which I believe that some are, um,
My question is, with 16 kids, and the way they were treated there and everything else, which was abusive, did they even bother to feed them?
Well, I'm going to tell you this, okay, from somebody with experience of feeding a very large family. I don't know how, like, that's a really good question. Like, how did they feed those children?
Besides going to the food pantry, and you know the food pantry is still not enough for all week.
Not even all week. I don't know. I don't know if a food pantry will let you leave with enough food to feed that family the way it should for 2 days.
And those food banks, they limit how often you can go there. You just can't go there on a weekly basis.
So for everybody in the chat saying that they were feeding them vegetable oil, I don't believe that. That makes absolutely no sense. While people keep saying that there's a lot of calories in vegetable oil, you get very sick being fed vegetable oil. I mean, truly, truly ill. And it's cheaper to feed somebody ramen noodles at 10 cents a bag than it is to feed them vegetable oil at what, 4 or 5 dollars a pint. That doesn't make any sense. There's more calories in a ramen at 10 cents.
Especially if they were going to the Dollar General and buying like potato chips, sometimes
Yeah.
milk, sometimes diapers.
They would be ill. They would be puking. They would be. You can't just sit there and drink oil. Have anybody ever drink castor oil for any reason? Like,
Yeah.
do you remember that feeling in your gut?
Did
That would be
they
that much worse with vegetable oil.
did they use that oil for lamps?
Well, you know what? The one company that never got back with anybody to verify that there was electric in the house was the electric company.
Listen, maybe they were sitting there and had 10-pound bags of potatoes and were cooking a lot of French fries every night. Or, chicken is the cheapest meat you can get. It's the only thing that's affordable anymore. Let's all be real. Maybe they were frying up chicken in bulk because, I mean, that's how many people? It's a lot of people to feed, right? You're talking two grown women, two grown men. You had teenagers in the house. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
And and when people are saying that how did they have social media if they didn't know how to read or write? And I will
That's my
tell you,
question. Because they
yeah,
did go to school, so where did they learn to read and write to use social media?
apparently Christina was homeschool. Don't know for sure, but that's the word. But a couple of the girls, and if you guys Google enough, you'll find it because I don't want to put names out there. There's a conversation between the two girls. One of them is spelling right, but the other one's not.
So, is this one of the videos that you're talking about?
Yeah.
What was the conversation?
So the conversation was, I'm going to say Z was supposed to come wherever her dad wanted her. And she kept saying no. And I wish I could I got to figure out a way to go live without using my phone from now on because it's all on there. But basically, her dad wanted her. She was refusing to come. And then there was like a little conversation in there, like, come on, like really telling her, you need to listen. And she wasn't listening. And she would spell words not the correct way.
I'm sorry, you're going to kill me, but can you go through that one more time? Because my daughter was saying goodnight to me.
Oh, no, you're fine. Basically, the dad, one of the girls was texting, telling her to come on. Dad wants you in the house. And our dad wants you. And she's like, no. And she kept, trying, like when you're trying to tell somebody, come on, you're going to be in trouble. Come on. Well, why? Because dad said so. So it was that type of conversation, but some of the words were spelt wrong.
Is this
Yeah.
the one you sent me where it was an upload of a text message?
Yes. Yes.
So, and that's another thing I have. These kids, if this truly was one of the an account from one of the children, then they would have had to have been knowledgeable enough to. And I don't know that my kids, I don't know that my 13-year-old right now would know or think to do this. But how would they know to video record that and then upload that onto TikTok or whatever platform it was?
Well, I don't think they did. I think they were actually I think that was text through a different app. They didn't actually upload it, but it was found on Instagram, their conversation.
So we can't verify that that conversation actually happened or that it was them.
Not 100% no. Now,
Oh,
Joey says it's them. Um, I feel like it's them because of the names. Um, but no, can't verify that one 100%.
okay. Yeah. See, that's what I was wondering. Is I'm like, if they're on TikTok, would they know enough to even screen record and then upload? You know what I mean? So that means somebody, and someone may have done it for them. You know, being in the conversation. Who knows?
Right.
I'm very careful with stuff like that because it's just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just, how do you verify that?
Now, the one that I feel, which is the one I'm talking about, that I'm the best way I can say to verify because the dad is also on there. The boyfriend is also on there.
So wait, I'm gonna pause you there because I'm sure that people in the comments are gonna have questions. Whose boyfriend?
Okay, yeah, yeah. So, which that's out there, but
Wait, can I interrupt you really quick? Guys, for those of you just getting in here, don't forget to give this creator a follow. Don't forget to follow everybody on the panel. Guys, numb thumbs, numb thumbs. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're fine. And that's why I really didn't want to put a lot out until that one was, and I was up till 4 o'clock this morning, and I can just 99.9% it's one of the girls.
I believe that these kids were on social media. I mean, because you guys remember the Turpins? They were sitting there watching Justin Bieber. You don't remember Justin Bieber getting them through? You know what I mean? So I believe these kids, when there's no outlet, but that conversation you were just saying, um, the one that was uploaded between the two kids, that, and it says, is that proving right there that these kids were out though and not really locked in a basement? Because if dad says you have to come here, you can't be there. Well, I mean, 12 by 12 is a very small area. You didn't have to text your sister to tell them that they had to come here because dad said so. So is that right there saying that maybe these kids weren't locked up the way it might be put out there?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, anything's a possibility. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I hate to say a whole lot because I don't want to say something wrong. But once you look at this and you look back at the dates and you look who this person is friends with and following,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it all goes together. I mean, you can look and see how many are siblings and family members. So,
Yeah. No, I believe now. You just said family members.
yeah.
But that right there means that these people knew these kids existed. I feel like the media right now is trying to portray like nobody knew these kids existed. But
Yeah.
you had family members on TikTok, you had or whatever social media app it was on. I can't say that it was TikTok, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
part of me wonder. I'm starting to question the media's uh, theory on what was actually happening.
or if they even know.
Now, you got to remember they were found in the basement, but before that, you got to remember how this whole thing went. And again, guys, I always try to think outside the box and hit every angle. So I'm not sitting here saying abuse didn't occur. That's not what I'm saying, not at all. But you got to remember, were they in the basement at this moment in time? Because remember, they went there, they knocked on the door because they were investigating Gary Jr., right? Now we came, they were going there, they wanted to come in, they said no, they sent them away, they went and got a search warrant, and they ended up coming back, and that's how they found the children in the basement.
Right.
Were
Could
they
they
trying
all
to
have
hide?
been put in there?
Were they trying to hide the kids in the basement because they knew to expect them back, like Gary's in trouble?
That's what I was just going to say. But if some of these messages that Joey is talking about, the kid that he's been talking to that has been giving him these messages because he was involved in these messages, because supposedly him and one of the girls broke up because of a neighbor guy by the name of Mike. So that would mean a neighbor would know.
So you see, I find it funny that it's coming out that a lot more people knew about these children than the media is portraying, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's interesting.
And then maybe just a couple of them were more malnourished than what they even thought. Maybe they were going to the store every night getting something thinking that this was going to help the kids. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to think about it.
I mean, it's the clean, the thing, it's the cleanliness of the house for me, the filth of the house, I should say.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Because if you were just struggling to feed kids, let's be real, with this economy and the lack of resources out there for people, nobody wants to lose their kids. I kind of get that. It's the filth for me, though, that didn't need to be there, that just makes it abuse regardless, you know?
You can not have anything and still have a clean house. Yes.
But, right. But now we didn't, and I'm not trying to say that there's anything happening here. I'm just, again, trying to think outside of the box. We don't know what the inside of that house actually looked like. We got a picture of a mattress. We got a picture of kids' toys. I mean, if they were sitting there locking up these kids in the basement, why'd they have so many bikes and toys and stuff like that?
See, that's a good point too. I wondered that. Like, why is there a wagon? Why is there a bicycle? Um,
And then we haven't seen any pictures of the inside of the house. And then supposedly, in order for them to get in, they had to take everything out of the house so the cops can get in there and they can investigate properly. However, wasn't the guy in a wheelchair?
yeah.
So it couldn't have been so crowded that you couldn't walk through if the guy had a wheelchair, right?
I mean, we saw that one picture of the kitchen that had the height chair. And then that front bedroom window is really all we've seen.
Yeah.
But if the door, I think I didn't understand that. If the door was open and they could go through the side door, why were they taking stuff out of that front window there?
Let me ask you, where did we get that picture of the mattress? Where did that come from? Did the media put that out, or was that a social media thing?
Which one?
You know, the one with the mattress with all the feces
Oh,
all over it?
that was an AI picture.
So
Yeah,
that
that was
picture
AI.
didn't even, that's not even a true picture.
Nope.
And
Mm-mm.
that's circulating, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was real. So that's circulating like that was the actual situation, when I feel like part of me is wondering if, people are making it something it might not have been. And this is not that there was no abuse. I'm not trying to say that. Obviously, there was some sort of abuse. But are we trying to, you know what I mean? Like, what was the actual situation?
Right.
Because I'm not, if I'm having a bunch of kids and I don't want them and I'm just hiding them in a little room in a basement, I'm not going out paying for bikes. And that bike was in good condition. I'm not going to want to, how much those little tykes, little sit on, ride on things cost nowadays? I ain't wasting my money on that.
Right. The only pictures I know of that are 100% real that was put out by media was the back area, which looks like it was part of the kitchen. There was a high chair there. I don't, and I can pull those up, and them pulling stuff out of that first room.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, something's not adding up with this whole story. It's just not. You can't sit there and say that they were abusing kids, but they were going to food pantries and buying stuff and diapers and stuff like that at Dollar General. You don't go out and go to food pantries and buy diapers and stuff at Dollar General if you're abusing kids.
Well, the Dollar General people stated that sometimes kids would come in, different children would come in with them, and they were dirty. And what I've heard is they donated toiletries and stuff to them, but obviously didn't use them.
So really, these kids were out and seeing a lot more than the story on social media is saying. Like, I just feel like if they were trying to hide kids and act like they didn't have them, they wouldn't have taken them to Dollar General.
It's
And I'm
really
not,
hard to know what to believe.
yeah, like I'm not saying abuse didn't happen. I'm not, obviously, abuse happened, right? But
Right.
were they doing it as like these horrible, heinous, vindictive people?
Or
Or
did
were
they
they doing
not know any better?
or exactly, or they did not have the intellect or the means, or, you know, without the help of mom and dad who are now sickly, that can get really overwhelming really fast.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
Hey guys. Hey.
Hey, hey.
Anything new?
Hi. Trying to read your comment. The brother to Elizabeth went live. Oh,
Oh, I seen that earlier.
that confused me because at first it said King of Country or whatever his name was, and I thought it was that whole King Chewy drama, and I'm like, how the fuck did I get here?
No, we aren't talking about that. No.
I was so confused. I was like, wait a minute, and then it clicked because I kept hearing my sister Elizabeth and all this, and I was like, oh shit, new character unlocked. Who's this guy? And then I listened, and then I listened. Anyway, I'm gonna mute now.
So, anything new?
I mean, I thought it was really interesting being able to actually talk to Joey and him coming out with his story. I 100% believe it. He was asked questions several different ways and none of them changed.
Right.
And there was conjoined twins. That was confirmed on a news article.
Oh, so that's true, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Did you say conjoined?
Yes.
Yeah, the
Do we know at
two
what
twins that passed away, they were conjoined.
Do we know at what part? I know it's not.
Let me put the
murder.
I'll put the article in Discord. Hold on.
Yeah, because
That's
I wasn't sure, because everybody was talking about it, but there was no confirmation, so I wasn't sure if that was true or not.
I'm here. I'm just looking for pictures right now.
Wow. Jeez.
I have a question for you. So, do you think that she was locked in the room with those kids as well?
I think she was a victim for sure.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. After having kid after kid, I don't know if that was her choice or not. I don't think it would be, but I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's going to be a whole lot more come out, and I'm curious to see what it is. And then
yeah.
I'm wondering, it's like we were talking a while ago. Were they really locked in a room? Were they really locked in the basement, or did they just hide all these kids in the basement because they knew the cops were coming back?
Oh. Well, I mean, listen to that thing that you played yesterday. Didn't they say they like walked in the room and that it was so heavily with feces and all that that the floor was about to fall through in this room?
Yeah, yeah.
So, where did the basement thing come from?
There was actually a news article that said that, yeah, they came out and said it was the basement. But
I
if the
read an
floor
article that said
falling through,
basement.
Oh,
do what, Ivory?
I said that I read an article that said they were in the basement.
Yeah,
Well, we
okay.
know that the media is not always right, so.
that's what I was going to say. Like now, it's like we can't even really listen to the media.
Yeah, I mean, this is so fresh and new. There's so much more that's going to come out on this. I mean, if
Yeah,
you look at that house, it looks like a basement door, but it could be like a crawl space, not like a full basement.
yeah. And here's another thing. Let's
Joey's
just
in here now. Hey, Joey.
Hey Joey, let's just
Hello.
say that front bedroom. Let's just say that front bedroom, maybe the older lady that rented that house, maybe that was just a room that, she left a bunch of stuff and they just piled it in that front room and lived in the rest of the part of the house.
It looked like kids' toys, like a wagon and all that other kind of stuff.
But now, exactly. But think about this though. If those kids weren't let out, they were, you know what I mean? It was set up as an actual abuse situation. Why would they have so many toys for the kids that they didn't
Right.
intend to play with?
Well, I mean, I found messages last night where the two of the sisters were talking, and they were saying that the one was trying to get the other sister in the house, saying, "Dad said get in the house right now. You can't be outside," which I thought was
So
kind of strange.
if that message is in fact true, then that's just proof that these children were outside
Yeah.
and they weren't locked in a room.
Yeah, it's kind of hard just saying that, the police said they went to all the neighbors and nobody knew that there was children in the house.
The news reports that I have seen said the toys were not outside, that the cops had to drag all those out to even get the kids out.
So what if that room was maybe just maybe it just started as a storage room and they threw all this stuff in there and it just kept piling up and piling up and piling up. And then when they knew the cops were coming back, they're like, we got to hide these kids. And so we'll just put them in there.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just,
How long ago was
All
those
right, guys, do
messages?
me a
That
favor
message
really
that I
quick.
found was from 2025, September of 2025.
Hey guys, do me a favor. I'm gonna interrupt really quick. Pink or purple? My kid's having a complete meltdown. She doesn't know if she wants a pink toothbrush, a pink or blue toothbrush.
tell her she
Pink.
wants a pink one.
Pink. The answer is always pink.
What
It's
pink?
my happy color.
Blue.
She picked pink.
Smart girl.
Yay, pink. I
So
I just believe that Elizabeth was a victim in some way. And I just wonder if Gary wasn't maybe on the spectrum, and maybe if, the parents were getting bad, maybe they didn't know how to keep up with things. I mean,
Well, the
It's
story
also
what people are saying is that, they were getting older and they were having a hard time keeping up with the house. I don't know if both of them had dementia or just one of them. I'm not sure. Uh, they're kind of strange. I mean, him and her, why didn't they clean up the house? I mean,
Elder
they're-
abuse, probably.
as a mother of 10, though, I can say this, okay? Number one, my laundry room, if I go do laundry and you guys don't hear from me in an hour, then I need you to send help because I'm lost somewhere in there. But with so many kids, one day of being sick and not cleaning up and not keeping on top of things, my house can become an absolute
oh,
insanity.
yeah, of course.
You
Even
know
with
what I
just
mean?
one, that
Like,
could happen.
it can become overwhelming really quick. Really
Yes.
quick.
Yes.
So, if the parents are sick and they're trying and, you get tired. Like there are days where it's like, I'm overwhelmed. I had a lot going on. You're trying to cook and clean and do all the things. My sink is just filled with dishes. There's toys everywhere. Every kid is leaving cups and spoons and forks and knives somewhere. They're dropping bread biscuits on the stairway. And I'm just like, I got to go to bed and deal with it tomorrow. You
Oh,
know what I
yeah, of
mean?
course.
And then what happens tomorrow if it's a busy day and it's just sometimes life can come at you and life is life, and and did it just
I
get
live
away
by
from them? And
myself
then when
and I
it's,
do at least one load of laundry a day.
and then when life gets so crazy with sick parents now, and again, you know what I mean? Like it can easily get out of control. Not that there wasn't abuse. I just feel like maybe it wasn't per se meant to be abuse. You know what I mean?
If you look at these photos, right? If you look at these photos, all
I don't know. I
three
take
except
care of
for
my
him.
mom because she's bedridden.
Oh God,
And
what
I can
happened?
tell you, there isn't a day that I'm not at least doing 2 to 3 loads of laundry a day.
Well, not only that, but we also need to consider that if somebody has confirmed, cognitive disabilities, mental decline, dementia, whatever you guys are or we're calling it, elder abuse is a real thing. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I've seen firsthand of a family member taken advantage of with somebody with their parent having dementia, and so it's like they could be telling their parent, "Oh yeah, I did this and I took that there," but they're really doing the opposite and abusing them financially and exploiting them, and that also might come out that somebody was being exploited, that they didn't expect. Like there's probably more than one victim in this, in my opinion.
right.
Well, there's no telling that Elizabeth. You can't convince me that girl, even if it comes out that she purposely decided she was going to harm these children, she's still a victim. She was
Yeah.
15 years old. There was a lack of education there. She didn't get out of. I mean, what did Joey say? The eighth grade, ninth grade. Like,
Eighth
I
grade,
mean,
yeah.
you're thrown into a marriage with a family and a baby with absolutely no life experience. And again, I remember being 15, man. I thought I knew everything. And here I am at 46 realizing I don't know jack.
Same.
You know what I mean? So it's
Same.
like you're sitting there, you're walking into this life. And she, again, she was as dependent on Gary Jr. and the parents for survival as those children were.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
a case of Stockholm syndrome almost. Like it's not guaranteed, but yeah, it could have been something along those lines of mental manipulation. And Stockholm syndrome is a real thing. But the other thing is like the further that she spends time with him, the more the manipulation can grow, and she has to learn what to and not to do to appease him. And so that mentally changes the way that her brain works, if that makes any sense. And so once you prolong that, like she's gonna go along with to maybe not get hurt or have food withheld from her. And I'm not saying that's what happened, but in abusive situations, people go at any length that they can to show power and control. And so it's unfortunate, and she spent a long time with that family, from what it sounds like, a very young age into her adulthood. And that's a very formative growth developmental time, that's very sad.
Is
Hey,
Joey still in here?
did you get to hear Joey's live? Joey, are you still in here?
I have a question. Did the Siders know that Elizabeth came from an abusive house? Because right then and there, that's, you're already a target.
I think they would have known since they just lived 2 trailers down.
Right. Which means they already knew what kind of abuse that she would deal with. And they already knew that that's easily manipulated, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm looking at this picture. If you look at this picture that's on the screen, it seems like Junior there looks more put together or clean than the other 3. I'm wondering if he just was manipulating all of them and had them the way he wanted to have them, like he was controlling them or what.
Now that's definitely possible. And it makes sense why, because if this house, the way the media is portraying this house was, right?
Yeah.
That means they only lived there, what, 3, 4 years? 4 years, I think.
4 years, yeah.
They've rented other houses before where they're not police reports written, you ruined my house, lawsuits happening. Like, if this was a thing for them and they always lived like this with children stuck in a room, you would think that there would be some kind of history showing that that's how they lived.
Yeah,
Well,
but
and they got a new roof too.
you look at the pictures look at them from 4 years ago. They don't even look like the same people.
Exactly. So that means something happened that changed the situation. It may not have always been like that.
Now,
I
I don't remember exactly where I seen it, but there was a news article that came out. What is that noise? Oh, there was a news article that came out today, and I want to say it was on Channel 6, and they traced down every place they lived, and it only showed 4 residents.
Oh wow.
They
Can I
lived in
ask a
Missouri
question?
too, I think I
Because
saw,
you
right?
guys are the true crime people, not me. That's why I follow Ivory religiously. Um, was she isolated, the mom? Because I listened to Joey earlier, and it seems like she was pretty isolated. Am I wrong?
The
So
the younger lady?
The mom.
Elizabeth, yeah.
Yes, I'm bad with names. I'm so sorry.
To me, it would appear so. I mean, if she had no contact with her family and wasn't really communicating with any of her immediate people, I wouldn't say it as facts, but it would appear as so.
Yeah,
'Cause I
it
have a
seems
narcissistic
like
brother that did the same
Elizabeth
thing,
was.
but not this level.
Yeah, Elizabeth seemed isolated. Like they isolated her from her family or put fear, like, oh, I'm wondering if it's the case of your family they didn't want you.
Right.
And so she believed it.
So
That was what I was leaning towards.
You know what proves
Yeah.
to me that she was isolated? You guys are going to laugh because this is true crime and we see it all the time. Number one, I believe she was isolated because of an obvious isolation from the family, right? No contact there.
Right.
So, and maybe they were pissed off, she was pissed off because of abuse from the parents, but you still had brothers. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that this family's got cousins and other people that are involved, close friends of the family and stuff like that. And then as far as isolated, it doesn't even seem like she had friends, because what would we expect in a true crime case? The second one of these things came out, you would expect what? All of Elizabeth's friends to come out and talk about how they were her bestie. They knew her. She didn't do this, or she did do this, or that there's
Right.
been nobody speaking to say.
Only
Like, everyone will go for clout if they would even try.
only
I saw
one
her at a
friend.
mall and I was her bestie, but there's been absolutely nothing. It's
Only
been
one
quiet.
friend came out from years and years ago, and she got attacked. And she was just trying to talk about how Elizabeth was before.
Right, but
The
nobody
Elizabeth
in her
she
adult-
knew. Yeah.
Nobody in her adult life has come out and even, you know what I mean, been like, oh, we were at the mall the other day, or I saw her when I went to Jimmy John's or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, nothing. There's been nothing, which is very weird for a true crime case, because people usually come out of the woodworks and they'll swear they were your bestie and you met them once. Nobody's seen this girl and nobody said they have. So
Can I
that
notice that
makes me
some of the
believe-
digging that I did last night, Now, one of the daughters had a boyfriend, and I looked him up, and he has on his top of his thing, he knows everybody's trying to contact him because of this case. And I guess they broke up because of some neighbor next door. So obviously that neighbor next door knew there was children in the house.
Wait, hold on. Say that. Is this the one? Did one of the kids have a boyfriend? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Yes. It seems like a year ago. To me, it feels like it was a year ago that
She had-
thing testified and got worse.
It was an online boyfriend from India.
Yes.
Yeah, it was an online boyfriend. That's right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So it was an online boyfriend.
Yeah,
Now,
but what does
these
that
are-
have to do with this neighbor next door named Mike? What does that have to do with him?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think there are some people in that area that are just wanting to go on and speak and are not privy, but they are saying they are, to the information about all of this. I'm not saying he's not, and I'm not saying what he said isn't true, but I've seen some people come out and say they know for a fact this, that, and the other, and
Right.
there's no verification of that. So I take all of that with a very big grain of salt.
The one that
So
this,
can I ask what
the one
is
the
this
one that
neighbor
this
Mike saying? Sorry.
Oh, you're right. The one that this is the one that's been talking to Joey and sending all their conversations from Instagram. And
Yeah, I saw the conversations. I saw him last
So
night.
wait, who's sending the conversations? The boyfriend from India or Mike the neighbor?
the boyfriend from India.
So so Mike the neighbor is the one going around panel to panel saying something? Is that what I'm getting?
No, he's not going panel to panel. He was mentioned in one of the conversations that was on
No,
Instagram.
He also, but was he? Because there was one neighbor going around, and he said he lived behind them, and he was walking around the property the other day on a live.
So the daughter had a cell phone device of some sort?
Yeah, they had social media.
Yeah.
apparently.
They have
The
TikTok.
children.
I found him on TikToks. I found him on Instagram, and I found him on FB.
See, that's weird to me. Like if they were just being
But it all stopped like almost a year ago of them being on these
Okay.
pages.
I'm not up to
Something
date.
happened in the
I'm gonna
last
shut up and
year
listen.
for them to stop on social media. All of them. It's like they stopped all at the same time.
Now these are the
Can I ask how old Elizabeth is?
Hold on a minute.
If
She's
anyone doesn't know.
33. These are the messages that Joey is talking about, and on his page, he has put some of the voice recordings on there that this so-called boyfriend has sent, and he is and has taken those to the police station.
So can somebody play? Does somebody have another device that they can play the videos on Joey's page? I'm upstairs. I don't hear anything.
Let me see if I can find them. I know he said he was uploading them.
Can I ask how old Elizabeth is at this time?
Did you say 30? Did you say 33?
She's
Uh-huh.
33.
I just wonder if something like physically or mentally or something happened if it was just within the last year. Does that make sense?
That is nuts. She's my age, dude. That means that, oh my God, her poor body.
I mean, you're saying that she's 33, and I'm looking at this picture, and I don't see 33. I guess that's where
She's been through it. That is so sad.
yes, that's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
Physically and psychologically, this girl has been through the ringer, regardless of any abuse. You know.
Right.
I hope that whenever she speaks, that she is heard, genuinely freaking heard. I want to cuss so bad, but I'm trying not to.
Yeah, but if she's been groomed her whole life, it might take her for a while to talk. She might not. She might feel like she's inferior if she talks.
That's true, but this could also be like, I hate to keep referencing this, but it could be like an Amanda Berry situation where she knew how to manipulate the situation and she knew that day would come, and she's been harboring and holding on to
Yeah.
dates and times, and she's going to have facts and she's going to come with it all. You know, in my opinion, hopefully.
I meant left to whoever I was just responding to, but I was just gonna say something and I completely lost it.
Y'all, I got gotta go on a little tangent. Steven got me these cute new leopard croc dupes, and they're so cute, but they're the squeakiest things. So if you hear something squeaking, it's my shoes.
We're gonna call you Duck Duck.
Yeah, I want to see. They're like leopard
Wait,
Mary
wait.
Janes.
Ivory, I was wrong. So, who is the woman in the top right picture?
Top right is Lynn. That's Gary Jr.'s mother.
And the other
Gotcha.
older guy is
His Facebook page, those voice messages.
Can you find them? I found it. My iPad is like just going so.
I'll send you a link. Hold on.
Okay, is this the one right here? Here we go. I just got to figure out how to pause it in between. And Joey's already put these names out, guys. So all I'm doing is playing his. I'm just playing what he's already posted. So
Yeah, we're not putting any information out there that someone else hasn't already put out there.
right, and I'm gonna try to figure out, and I don't know why I can't. Okay, is that how you pause it?
Numb thumbs. Numb thumbs.
Let me take this picture off a second. I think I need to update this iPad is what I think I need to do. Okay, can y'all see?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I read that?
It says I haven't. Hold on. Let me see if I got to figure out how to rewind this and keep pausing. Okay, here we go. So this is from the kid, and he contacts Joey. He said, I haven't seen my niece since 2008. The kid put a crying emoji, said since her birth. Dang it, it's not letting me like pause. Here's the proof, and he sends these
Wait,
okay, it's acting stupid.
Who is this original conversation between?
This is between Joey the brother and
The boyfriend.
Chloe, one of the daughters, his niece, Elizabeth's daughter, and the online boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah. If somebody else can do this to where they can get it to pause and oh, here we go. I haven't seen my niece since 2008. And he says, since her birth? He said, who was you with, Chloe or Zoe? And he said, Chloe. He said, because the last time I seen them, they were still under like 5. Let me see if it'll play more. He says, actually, we broke up because of Mike. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, it
He
was
said, I don't. Who is that? And that's when he said, the neighbor. And then he says, here's the proof. I haven't deleted my chats on Instagram. I need to check on my old account. So he's actually going through and trying to get all of the messages and all the voice clips and that to send him. If you zoom in, which this one doesn't show. Let me see if there's any voice to this. Let me play this through again.
I sent you the link in Discord to the Facebook.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
let
heard
me,
one message last night where I heard the girl's voice.
yeah.
Beechin has a great question. Why would Mike the neighbor be involved in anyone's relationship?
Yeah, I don't
That
understand that.
that
I
was
don't know
my
that.
question.
It sounds like maybe he was going after this young girl, or
What
I
year
don't
was
know.
this relationship and where were they living? Were they living in this house?
That was from, right? Was that from a year ago, 2025, Stacy, or was it earlier?
I believe it was 2025. Let me look. Hold on.
Or was that one 2022? I
Oh,
can't remember.
Sam, where did you send it to in Discord?
Under the ciders.
Oh, okay. All right.
Guys, can we do numb thumbs while she's showing this on the screen just so she doesn't get hit? And by numb thumbs, I mean tap away, please.
Oh, tap. I was ready to ask you what's numb thumb.
Means your thumb should be numb from tapping so much.
Okay, let me turn this up and we'll. Okay, guys, okay. It's really hard. So this is where he was going to get some more proof. And this was her page on Instagram. And I'm trying to see if there's like a video or oh, it's not going to let me on
There's
here.
that voice note. Not the one you clicked on, but the next one.
Okay. I don't have Facebook loaded on here. Which one is it, Sam? This one here?
Yes.
Okay, I can't hear it.
Yeah, that's the one I heard last night. Here it
Oh,
is.
there it is. Is that the only one?
It's the only one I found.
Okay, so here, I don't know what was set up there, and she says yes, and she's in the bathroom. Wait, can you send me a voice note? And she says yes. Send it, and she does.
So obviously they know how to work social media.
And then he talks and says she can speak clearly. Do you have it where I can hear it? He said I didn't understand. And he calls him uncle. Uncle, we can stop the rumor. We more proofs. I need time to gather all proofs. So this kid's going through and getting all the proof that he had been talking to her. Social media.
Is this the 18 who couldn't talk and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the police said she was severely disabled. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
But here's the thing, is Chloe and Zoe twins?
They could
No.
be.
No.
They're not?
No. Her twins were born at the end, not
That's
at the beginning.
Ivory, you know what? If we switch I would still have to figure out a way to block him. If you want to go live again tomorrow night, I can absolutely get some things ready.
We can do that.
And I should have already done
I just have one question. It seems awfully funny. She had how many set of twins? How would a person have that many twins?
You know what, Dreamer? Listen, I'm feeling you tonight. You're absolutely right, because even though the medical probability that all of this happened the way it did with her birth order and the way the birthings happened are just really surprising. The fact that she had so many births so quickly, the fact that all of her twins were towards the end, then you had a set of conjoined. The twins were so close in age. Um, it sounds. I mean, part of me is wondering if there wasn't fertility drugs involved.
No,
it's possible.
Richmond, that's not true. Twins is by the mother's side. It's the egg either splitting or two eggs.
Well, both of you are correct. Both of you
It's
are wrong as
determined
well.
by
I was a
the
nurse for
sex.
15 years. I actually was pregnant with twins my third time,
The sex is
and
determined by the dad.
my son absorbed his twin.
Right. So, yeah, that can happen. I've seen that happen. But you can have twins and have no twins in your family. So now her
I do have
increased
twins in my family.
pregnancies.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. I'm wrong. Sex is determined by
And
dad.
father.
That is determined by mother. You're correct. I apologize.
So twins are not necessarily determined by mother, but anybody can have a set of twins. It has nothing to do with like genetic anything. I mean, obviously it does, but you know, the fact that she had so many pregnancies, that can increase the risk. The fact that she was higher in maternal age, that can also increase the risk. But the fact it would not increase the risk so much that she had 3 sets of twins back to back to back towards the end is wild. The probability of that happening was wild to me.
Yeah.
Without
Well, she was
the
taking some
history of
fraternity
twins.
meds or something.
That's why I
But were there
wondered.
any twins on her side ever?
Not that I know of. I haven't seen. I haven't seen any
Scientifically,
twins.
that's odd.
Well, the medical probability is really, really, really low.
Yeah, but that's I don't know. I'm gonna let you dig into that, Avery, because that's what you do best.
I mean, look at the Duggar kids. They had 19 kids, and how many set of twins did they have? 2, 3?
Right. Only 3. They had that many kids, but Dad had
I
twins in
guess
his
that's
family.
true. Like if you have so many pregnancies, especially back to back to back, I mean,
Yeah.
So it does because as you get older, the more pregnancies you have, hyperovulation happens. Like you tend to drop more eggs,
oh, you're
and
not
so
wrong.
and it also
Especially
goes
like
along
with
with
like you know
maternal.
perimenopause. Yeah.
It also goes along with maternal age, which is why if women who don't have twins in their family are most likely going to have twins the older they are when they get pregnant.
I
Right.
was 23 on my
This
third.
though,
Every
this
third woman in my family has had a set of twins.
this
The
this
third pregnancy.
this the probability of this many twins at the end
At the end, yeah,
is
all at
just,
once, it's kind of.
yeah, it just seems like they would, I don't know. And why isn't she pregnant again? Because the history shows she should already have a baby.
I
She should
read
already
something
have
last
another
night.
one.
I don't know where I read it, but somebody said she was pregnant with a girl right now. I don't know how true that is.
I haven't seen that. I mean, I saw that going around social media. I haven't been able to confirm that.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I heard it. But you know what? Another strange thing is if you look at the timeline with the children, she had like somewhere in there a 2-year break. Like, what was going on at that time?
She had a baby there. She had miscarriage there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she had miscarriages there, which makes sense. She was, when I tell you she was pregnant so super quick after
Right.
delivery during her postpartum period. It's absolutely crazy that she got pregnant as soon as she possibly physically could.
Right.
And that
Right.
makes
Like
sense
there
with
wasn't
her
there
getting
wasn't a break.
pregnant.
Yeah, she didn't even have a break. I mean, on her body. I mean, takes a
And
toll on you.
I've
It
had two
also explain the
sets.
twin thing because it's actually really dangerous. It takes your body at least 9 months to heal.
Yeah,
At
it takes even
least.
longer than that.
It's
And
supposed to be like 2 years.
I've had
And
2
her,
sets of Irish twins. And when I tell you, with my last set, because I was older and I was only in my 30s, um, but with my last set of Irish twins, I was literally, when I tell you, I was on medication pumps. I had IVs at home. I was extremely, extremely ill after having so many pregnancies. And then getting pregnant right back to back, and I had no twins.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, physically, she's in bad condition because her heart is pumping. Her heart pumped overtime for 17 straight years, 18 straight years.
Yeah.
Like her heart, I don't even know if it would know how to pump not pregnant, which means like it would, you know what I mean? Like she's got to have heart issues.
I mean, the hormones alone.
Well, Ivory, you just took the words out of my mouth. Because when you were saying that, I said, well, okay, something's got to be wrong with her medically.
Absolutely, she has repercussions from this. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, of course.
And to be honest with you, I'm surprised with as many deliveries as she has had, and you're counting twins, that it becomes dangerous after. I literally that's why I had to have my tubes taken out. My doctor was like, if you get pregnant, I had a high risk pregnancy doctor. My doctor was like, I cannot take you on as a patient. I cannot deliver another baby with you. You will not survive. They were like, you've had too many pregnancies. Your placenta is extremely thin. It's taking a toll on your body. If you have another pregnancy, it will not go well and you may not survive it. And she's had 1.5 times the amount of pregnancies I've had. For a lot longer of a time period than I've had. Like, I can't imagine. And I'm not saying every patient is the same, but medically speaking, the toll on her body, man, that's why she looks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she doesn't look healthy at all.
She almost looked
Just
like she just
hormonal.
absolutely had no life in her.
All of us, I think, are mothers. Just from a hormonal perspective, she never was able to get her hormones regulated, in my opinion. There's no way.
And honestly, like, you can get free birth control. A lot of them places would take care of that if you didn't want to keep getting pregnant. So the pregnancies had to have been on purpose. You can't say there were accidents and I just kept getting pregnant because, you know what I mean?
I thought they were home births. Am I wrong?
No, she had them in a hospital.
Oh, I thought they were all home births.
And that's another thing that's going around. There's no way. Do you know the medical probability of successfully delivering twins in a home birth? And everybody survives.
I was confused. I was like, that's not normal.
And there was 3 sets. No.
Has anybody ever thought of that she got pregnant so much that it could be a religion thing?
So I've heard from people that they weren't that religious. Yeah, and it could be that maybe she wanted them. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know.
I just had a thought pop into my head. I could be completely wrong. When she was pregnant, what if there was physical abuse, but if she was pregnant, there wasn't?
It could be anything. We just don't know yet. I was thinking maybe a religion thing because I know that happened with my mother. I have a brother that's actually 20 years younger than me. So my mother kept going.
I got a question. What's a geriatric pregnancy?
Anything 35 and above.
Over 35.
Oh, shit. I'm going to have a geriatric pregnancy at this going rate. Shit.
I'll never forget.
Better hurry up, hey.
With my last daughter, I walked into the doctor's office and I don't know, we were talking about just delivery and, stuff like that. And, he mentioned geriatric pregnancy. I'll never forget. And I'm a nurse, so I know what a geriatric pregnancy is. I got so mad at him. You want to talk about hormones? I'm surprised I didn't attack the guy and claw his face off. I was like, what do you mean geriatric pregnancy? I'm only 37. He's like, yeah, you're old.
I had 2
like,
geriatric pregnancies.
I was just going to say, I'm 33 and I've got 2 gray hairs. I'll take that as an insult. Thanks.
I mean, there's just so many possibilities to this case.
Yeah, it just
don't they have court tomorrow at 1:00?
1:00 is what I'm hearing.
Now, is that just on him or is that on all of them?
I think that's on them. I don't know if it's her.
Okay, 'cause I wasn't sure if it was on Gary Jr. for his other accounts or not.
I'm not sure, but
On
I
his
wonder.
indecent.
Is it going to be played? I wonder if it's like I need to be there.
I think it'll be played.
Well, I'm going to find it. I'll
You
stream
got
it.
to. I'll be at work tomorrow.
Yeah, I might stream it on YouTube because I keep getting hammered here on TikTok. Ain't liking me lately with all the streaming.
Well, let me
Yeah,
know.
just go to that town and go to the local news stations and stuff. You'll find it.
It could be all of them, landslide. I wasn't
Yeah, it
sure
could
if it
be.
was all of them tomorrow or if it was just Gary Jr.
We depend on you, Ivor. I can't figure out the tube. You're so funny.
I
yeah,
figured out a way to do it on here and not get hammered, but I'll be at work.
I'll see. Maybe I'll do it on my back up and take the hits.
Well, it's what you do, Ivory. You see how I have a picture up right now?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let me show you something. So
Oh,
you're gonna just so you'll know. I'm just gonna open up my iPad. So you're just gonna point your phone toward. Let me see if I can. I'm just gonna throw something up on. I don't even know what to show up here. So you're gonna do it like that, and just get them people just in your where you can see. Like this will
Oh,
be the
that makes
person
sense.
talking. So
Jamie,
as long as they're talking, you won't get hit. It doesn't show anything.
Oh, that makes
Jamie,
sense.
Well,
Jamie,
yeah.
are you walking around with a chain on your neck or some shit?
No, why?
Ghost
It
of
was like
Christmas Past?
jingling.
It's not me.
Oh my god, I almost said that, Ivory, and I didn't think anybody would get my joke.
What'd she say?
The Ghost of Christmas Past.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
Well, you got squeaky shoes and somebody has a chain.
If I walk around, it sounds like I'm farting. That's why
I
I'm
don't know
saying
what you're
put.
hearing because I don't hear a chain and I don't even have a chain on.
Man, I wonder if we're even going to get updated on this case because there's so many minors involved.
Right.
That's what I said. I said I wonder because there's so many kids that they're just gonna gag order the whole thing. And does Ohio have a right to gag order?
Oh, I don't know.
Or not a right, but like,
if
do
they're
they do
doing
that?
the DNA test, if they'll release that information.
I think as big as this case is, they are going to put a gag order on it.
I want to know what condition those two that were sent to a trauma center. I need to know their condition because I feel like
Ivory, Ivory. Joey's back if you want to ask him your question.
Does anyone remember my question? Oh, Joey, the Siders, did they know that you and your sister there was an abuse situation going on at your home?
He's saying you can't message him. He just got suspended.
No
DNA.
way.
Oh man.
Ugh.
What happened?
Joey, I'm gonna need you to make a backup. Make a backup for yourself and we'll share it out. This way you have access just in case.
Oh, before that happened, did you get my inbox?
Right, Nina? Yeah, I believe that, Nina.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
What'd she say? Yeah, I don't think they will
they
either.
didn't gag order it already makes me think they won't.
So did the Siders know that you guys were being abused by your parents? Or that there was some abuse going on?
No.
They didn't. Oh, okay.
Hey, King, why'd you block me? All I said was
He
that you
didn't.
needed some mods because the people were nasty your chat, and then I got blocked.
He didn't. One of his mods did.
Well, unblock me. Why'd they block me? Because I said you needed mods. They
He
were
might
being
have blocked you if
nasty.
you're nice about it, Dreamer.
Yeah.
Well, they were. When he was live, there's some people say some really nasty stuff, and they were making mods, and I said, yeah, you need some mods. And then all of a sudden it says you're blocked by creator.
Dreamer, did you say what he said? He said, I'm sorry, you're still my friend. You're friends again.
That's so funny.
Well, I had to go on my backup to finish watching him.
Dreamer, you talk so loud.
He said that
I
it
think
still says that you're friends, Dreamer.
We're just muted.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I was blocked.
No, he says right here. He just looked. It says you're still friends on there. He said.
No, because I went to try to find his account, and it said account not found, meaning I got blocked.
Oh, Joey. Also, Nina in the chat, she got blocked. She was saying that they were liars, and I think she meant like the family that you were talking about, not you guys. But I think one of your mods accidentally blocked her, because she was agreeing with you guys. But I think
They
I think
misunderstood
sometimes
it.
I think sometimes people send quick responses and then people take it wrong. So you know.
or answer in the first like in the first person.
It's
Like I
right
do
up,
that sometimes.
it's
I'll
right
say
up
it.
above you, Joey. It's Nina, beauty influencer. If anybody else is in here that got blocked that wasn't being hateful, you better speak up now. Oh, he's coming up.
They blocked her burner.
There he is.
Hey guys,
Hey Joey, how you doing?
I'm going through all these. It still has the errors going back and forth saying we're everybody's friends. I've just went and checked through all these. It says we're friends. Samantha, have a seat.
Yeah, maybe you would just block from that live, not blocked. You know.
They have
No, I'm blocked.
Beechin.
I followed him on another account, though.
That might be why. I was going to say they're saying we're friends on here.
Dreamer, What you're did I such a do? stalker.
But I tell you what, when I first heard about this case, I thought, oh, no, I wasn't buying it. But after listening to your live today and about your background and everything else, I left that live thinking, no, that girl's been groomed. She's grew up in an abusive home. Nah. And I'm not saying I don't think she should do some time, but I definitely think they need to take account that she's been groomed and abused. I mean, at this point, I don't have any doubts that, because I don't, like I messaged you, I don't care what comes out. I think she's groomed. I think that, what do they call it?
She's 13. That is kind of crazy. She's very young. Very young.
I know.
Stockholm syndrome.
Any case, I just don't think she should do a whole big amount of time.
I feel like before anybody talks about like people, I feel like we don't even know what the situation is yet. I feel like, of course, we have covered so many cases. I have personally watched mainstream media change the information in real time. We all watch them do that dirty deleting and all of that. So, we're getting what these news media outlets want the story to be. The better the story, the better their views and the better their, you know what I mean? We don't even know what the actual story is yet. And I feel like so many people are jumping to these conclusions.
Yeah, it's like they want to know right now. They want to know
scenarios.
everything right now, and you
they're
can't.
making up these outrageous things that, you know what I mean, before we even know what the actual situation was.
Joey,
And
I
think
just want to thank you for being vulnerable and
Oh,
sharing
the
your
craziest
story.
stuff that's been going around.
You're
It's
welcome.
wild.
I had to. I couldn't take it no more. I was seeing all that stuff. I was like, no, I'm speaking out. I don't care who gets mad at me. I'm speaking out.
Like
No.
I'm crying again because yeah. Thank you for sharing. You didn't have to.
Well, it's good that we did that.
Yeah,
You
I
just
think
gotta, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I think some of these quote unquote true crime creators want to sensationalize anything more than it's bad enough, but they want to get the crowd in and it's sick, honestly, the way that they've treated you, because you're not at fault for any of this, not at all.
You weren't even
No,
around.
he's not. But people like to guilty by association.
Yeah,
Well,
but
you
I mean,
know,
he told his story. He wasn't even around to even know, a
I
lot
just
that
found
went
out
on.
on Friday that my brother, who has my 16-year-old nephew in North Carolina, and I'm in Florida, 10 hours away, has been abusing him for the last 10 years. I had no clue there was no red flags. I have a psychology degree. I have been through every abuse possible. Trust me, there was no red flags. So don't think that I can relate, not to that level, obviously, but
Well,
I'm
the
dealing
thing
with
of
that.
it is his background and his troubles that he's had in life doesn't have anything to do with what is going on with this case.
Right, and people over there digging into his life, well, it has nothing to do with it. You're right.
In any case, I am praying for your family and your sister.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you know what? No matter what may come out, I don't care what it is. Just keep in mind that your sister was groomed. That she probably has that stock, and that's a lot to overcome. And honestly, they got to sign her a lawyer. I would get hold of that lawyer and see if he can get the judge to order a evaluation of her mental state.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
They're going to be there probably on all of them.
I've been
My
wanting to
question is, though, is what I've wondered, because when she went to court, she was with that other woman that got arrested, that Linda,
Christina.
whatever.
Glenn.
Is if they are keeping them in the same jail, are they keeping them separated?
they're
I
not
just
allowed
found
to
out
speak
that
to each
actually,
other.
I actually just found out. Somebody from that jail just texted me and said they are in protective custody in cells by themselves. That was texted
Oh, she's
to me.
in protective custody?
Yes,
Hold
ma'am.
on.
All four of them are, because it's a high profile.
That's good.
Hold on, Dreamer. I can't hear him. Go ahead, Joey.
As far as I know, that's as far as he went with it. He said, your sister's okay. They're all in PC. I was like, well, I appreciate it. I don't even know who you are. And he told me he was a CO, so that's all as I know.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Joey? Do you think that
Yes, ma'am.
grooming happened here with Gary Jr.?
Do you mean grooming my sister?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Since you all and my wife actually explained, I didn't know what grooming was. I thought that was something you did with a dog or your hair or something. And I was like, what the hell is this grooming stuff? I'm being serious. I was like, what is this grooming stuff? And she sat there and I was like, yep, immediately. I was like, oh, I did not know that. Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like, she was an easy target. Having gotten pregnant at 14 years old, the whole marriage thing for me, I think, blows me away. I feel it's really hard for me to understand. When you did speak today about the abuse and how your parents were like, just they didn't want to be bothered. When you said that, I was like, well, that makes a lot of sense. That's the only thing that makes sense to me on why a parent would be like, okay, go ahead. Let me sign the papers,
And because she probably felt they didn't care, when you're a teenager, she was probably just looking for love and found it in the wrong spot,
She just sat there and watched her parents sign her over.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
sad.
What kind of love is that? Like, What is that? I don't know. They've done. I'm not trying to make this about me, but I've done all my life. They have never once, ever came and seen me. They never. I had to pay for phone calls to call them. I had to do it all. They will not accept my calls unless I'm paying for them. That me and Elizabeth is a burden.
So sorry to hear that.
Joey, I got a question for you. And I know you're going to get sick of this. I'm sure you already are. But I know you were in Georgia at the time because you had already left home when your mom left. Huh?
I made a deal with the state of Ohio, Jerry Dorse and Dean Evans, which was the judge and my probation officer, because I took a gun to school. If I would leave the state for a couple of years, I could come back. That was the deal. So I moved to Ringgold.
But at that time that you were talking to your mom and knowing that the abuse that you and your sister went through at that time, did you feel like she was safer with the Siders than she was with your mom?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
I'm split on that.
Split.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I mean, maybe she did feel safer going there because she used to see me get beat really bad. Like I used to get beat really bad. And I'm not trying to get no sob stories. It's just the truth. And then I watched her get it. And then eventually, I'm not going to lie and hide this from anybody because you can see it in my juvie record. I seen her do it. I seen my mom do it one time. I got tired of it and I hit my mom.
You said that your brother Jeremy didn't get beat. Why do you think he didn't get beat? Like, why him?
He was probably the favorite.
I'm going to tell you something. My mom cheated on my dad when I was conceived. And so I don't really know if he is my father. And if you look at Elizabeth and the rest of the family, she's the only one with blonde hair.
Oh, that makes sense. He didn't think she was his, right?
Yep. Me too.
Okay. See, I lived that kind of life.
And so did I. If I told you my story, I could write a book.
Same. If I would start, same. I'm with you.
You know, it's interesting to hear this, and I'm glad I did, because I went to your mom's Facebook and the family's Facebook like every other creator would, right? And I went digging and I went looking, and when you look, and social media is never real life, right? But when you look at her social media, it doesn't portray that. You know what I mean? It portrays like a very sweet, like this loving little family. You know what I mean? Which is really
that's what I'm trying to tell everybody. They're not who they used to be. They're nice and calm and gentle now because they got older. Yes. But back in the day, I'd rather be in hell.
Yeah. You'd be surprised a lot of people do that. They portray that they're this, happy people and everything, on social media, but it could be a total different story behind the scenes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad he spoke out, because when you look at it, it just looks like, oh no, not these people. Look how sweet they are. Until you hear some kind of reality, and then you're like, oh, well, that makes sense. It gives the different perspective that people need to look into the whole situation the way you need to.
Yeah, and for her to not speak out, for none of the family to speak out except for Joey, is just bizarre to me.
The bad thing is, the only thing Jeremy is posting is bad stuff. Like, he's downing our sister. Like, that's our sister. I get it.
Who does she feel like she could have gone to, though?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I thank you for going live and being so open and sharing your story with us, because honestly, it changed my views on your sister.
I'm glad I can open some eyes instead of all the lies going around. I can open some eyes. That's all I want. That's all I want. If you look on the post from thing, I just want people to listen. I'm not trying to ban them in your head.
I have a question. When was the last time your brother had seen her?
Obviously, more than I have.
Oh, okay.
Because he's sitting there saying that he shook his hand a couple of weeks ago, all this stuff. Not me.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Now I
he
know.
shook
Okay.
he shook whose hand?
Galita, I understand you want Elizabeth to
Hold on
speak
a
out,
minute.
Hold on,
but
Dreamer,
right
Dreamer,
now, when she's
Dreamer,
going to court
Dreamer,
and everything, no.
Dreamer.
Hold on a minute.
Hold
Dreamer.
on.
Dreamer, hold on a minute. Let him
You said
finish
that
saying something out.
you said that Jeremy shook Gary's hand recently?
Remember, if you remember his post, what he said a
Yeah.
while back, I took his hand, and it felt like a baby. So obviously, you knew something. They
That's
were
that,
guys. You
that's
were
what
going
I'm
to see.
that's what I'm saying. So there had to have been people aware of whatever situation was happening.
Yeah,
They're just not talking.
they're too afraid to. I'm not afraid to come out and out people. I'm not afraid to do it. And whatever it costs me, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
What do you think they're afraid of? Do you think they're afraid of like being held responsible for not doing anything?
That responsible for what I'm telling everybody. That sis will hopefully eventually tell everybody. Because if not, I'm going to be her voice on that.
Joey, are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest. I'm 38. I'll be 39 this year.
You're the oldest of the siblings?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm also the oldest, so I get you. It's hard when you come from those kind of lifestyles and you're the oldest because people do not understand the struggle you have to do. It's you're not just a sibling, you're parenting, you're doing the then you try to get away and then
You're
you
really cutting out.
find out other things and then you feel guilty and you're like crap I should but no, you deserve your own life too.
Thank you, James.
What is your relationship with your parents now? Like you guys talk, you guys
I just got completely cut off last night. They came to me and I have the messages. They said, I don't know why you're over running your mouth. You needed to leave us all alone. This was my Aunt Christy. And I finally flew off. I said, after all these years, I said, I've been out of prison 2 months. I said, you finally want to come say something to me and you want to act like this? I said, you and the family can go somewhere. I said, I have nothing else for you. I'm telling Sissy's story. I said, I will be live tomorrow. That's when I finally made my decision.
Yeah.
How did you find out about the situation? Did you find out like on the news like everyone else or did family contact you?
I was mowing my yard and Nikki came running out and she said, your dad called. I said, what? I said, I'm afraid to answer that. I said, Dad, don't ever call me. I said, I'm afraid someone passed away. And they was like, hey, bub, you need to call right now. And I was like, okay. And I call them and they're like, well, your sister's in jail. I said, what the fuck? What? That completely surprised me. And they told me what had happened. And then it was everywhere. It was everywhere.
So can I ask you, what did he tell you happened? Like what were his words to you that he said?
It was my mom actually on my dad's account. And she said that Elizabeth had just got arrested for child endangerment. They found all them kids, I guess, nasty. And I was like,
Now, did they go over there to visit a lot? They had to know too, right?
Like right goes with their grandkids. Why were they not involved?
Now, when they lived up on, I'm wanting to say it was Prospect Church. Now, Mom and Dad went up there multiple times until whatever happened. Her and Lynn got into it was over Elizabeth. Them two got into it over Elizabeth, over something, and they quit talking to each other. Like Elizabeth was not allowed back at Mom's house. If Mom wanted to see her, she had to go up on top of that hill.
Oh boy.
Can someone explain to me exactly who Lynn is? Because I don't.
Lynn is Christina.
Yeah, Lynn is the old lady sitting beside my sister in the orange jumpsuit.
But who?
His husband's mother.
It would be Gary
Oh,
Jr.
the mother-in-law.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So can I ask you, because I feel like there were so many stories and when I jumped off the live before, my kids needed dinner. So how many pregnancies do you know for a fact that she had?
For a fact that I know, guaranteed in my heart, 5.
And you heard from your, because I heard someone mention 21 pregnancies.
I mentioned that the last time I called my mother, which actually was, or not last time, but the last time Elizabeth was there, which was Christmas of this last past year. She left, and she's like, "It's hard to believe that your sister's got on 21 kids." I was like, "That is ridiculous, Mom." She said, "Yeah, one of them died during birth," and I was like, well, "I didn't know that." She said it was a little boy, one of the little twin boys that died.
Oh wow! And she got her information from Linda. Is that true?
Linda, yes, yes. Everything that my mom always told me, Linda told me, Linda told me, Linda told me. Well, then I have been keeping this away from everybody. There's a guy that works with my dad. His name's Jesse White. He is very close with that side of their family. He is actually related to that family, and he would tell my dad stuff too.
Oh wow! And
I think
what
him and
what
Gary
would
were
he tell you then?
stepbrothers. He would say that he seen Elizabeth, and that she called, and he went up to their house and all this. So that's what I didn't want that to come out yet. I really didn't. But that guy,
So Lynn was
that guy,
telling, Lynn had someone was telling your dad about the allegations,
it's my dad's
but
coworker.
but he didn't think that you guys belonged to him. Correct?
Yeah, that's true.
No,
So
I get.
now, so now it's showing that. So in other words, people were there at that house. In other words, if they're telling you, then that's just showing that people were actually there at the house and knew the situation.
That, as far as I know, is what yeah. I'm just yeah.
They had to if they were at that house. They had to know something. I mean,
That's
has anybody ever questioned why she had so many children, like your mother or anybody?
No, not as far as I know. I know the hospitals were starting to question her. I think that's why she quit having them there.
Oh, I see.
Because
makes
Children's
sense.
Services, Children's Services was trying to mandatorily get her fixed, like take her tubes and everything. They kept telling her, "One more kid, you're out. You're getting your tubes done." And they're
Wait,
taking
so
the
all
kids.
births. I'm sorry, y'all. My anxiety medication is kicking in. It's past my bedtime. All births were not in the hospital. Did she start having any at home?
Yeah, she had a few at home from
That's
my
what I
mom.
thought. Okay, thank you.
But they weren't planned home births. They just happened at home.
I don't know if they were planned or happened. I don't know. I do not know.
So the youngest set of twins is 18 months old, correct?
I'm guessing. I have never even met her. I don't know how many twins she's got. I don't.
So it looks like the last 3 pregnancies that she had were twins. The last pregnancy was a set of twins that was 18 months ago. Now, if you look at her birthing history, this is the longest she's ever been not being pregnant. And I wonder why she's not, I know it sounds horrible, but I wonder why she's not pregnant again, because the history shows she should have already have had another child. I wonder if something happened.
Maybe that's why they're out back getting ready to dig on that property.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Think about it, Ivory, though. You're nursing, right?
Yes.
We only have so many eggs.
Well, yeah. I mean, she could. I mean, that's not necessarily. I mean, she can. You have thousands of them. You have plenty of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's not a thing. I just feel like I wonder if something didn't happen. I just feel like it breaks the pattern that you've been seeing. But like you said that they told you that they were going to be out there digging, looking for something, I'm assuming.
Sorry, my daughter wanted me.
No, that's all right. But you said they told you they were going to be digging on the property?
That's what I've heard. I've definitely heard that. I guess that's what the second investigation's supposed to be, because there's, like I said, bodies missing.
Wow.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it is.
When y'all said 16 in the reports, then it was 17, then 18, and 18. I'm like, you're not. You guys ain't even adding it up right yourselves. Like, there's 4 missing if you do that. There's 3 missing if you do that, and there's 5 missing if you put that.
Oh wow.
I
Minus the
think they
2
were.
that's in the grave, so that leaves 3. The 2 that's unalive.
I think at first they weren't counting the 18-year-old, and then decided to. First they weren't counting the 18-year-old, and then decided to.
Just letting you know, I'm hearing an echo of somebody's screen
That's
recording.
Joey's.
Hey, who is that? What account? Hey guys, Heather is recording this live right now. I just got
That's
it sent
okay.
to her.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's all right.
We're good. It happens all the time.
Yeah, that's nothing new.
It happens all the time.
The oldest one, the 18-year-old. Now, how you knew her for a while because you were around for a while? Like you knew that one, right?
Yeah, I knew Chloe. Yeah, Chloe. When I would go up there, she as soon as she would see me, and she would put her hands out, and like a baby does, like come here.
Yes.
She would run up and grab my leg. Yeah.
So let me ask you, everyone keeps saying that she's got some kind of cognitive disability. From you knowing her little, because again, you didn't know her when she was older, do you feel like she was born with some kind of delay or disability?
She couldn't speak then neither. None of them could. The
Oh,
ones
they-
that she did have that was in speaking language, they could not speak. Zoe and
Oh.
Chloe could not. Nope. They would go, eh.
How come on the one that had the boyfriend, she put a voice thing and you could hear her saying hello? She sounded fine.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know, but at that time, that's what I know. But
Yeah.
they may learn throughout the year. I don't know. But what I knew at that time, they could not talk.
So
Right.
They were
so
still in
were
diapers.
delayed.
Yeah.
So they were delayed in some way. And honestly, I have a daughter who was very delayed, and she didn't speak for the first time until she was about 7 or 8.
So
And
what
now
about your sister?
now
Do you think that she
speaks
had that?
fine.
Any type of?
Hold on a minute, Beck. What was you saying, Ivory?
Just that, like, I had a daughter who didn't speak for a very long time. She didn't she didn't start speaking till she was 8. I mean, now she can speak, but she couldn't back then because of a cognitive delay that she had. Now, as far as cognitive delays, do you think Elizabeth did your sister have some kind of delay?
No, Sissy seemed perfect to me.
And what about Gary?
He's slow as hell.
So you do, honestly, you do.
The way
So
you
you
said it.
do, we'll say it politically correct. So you do see some kind of delay with him.
Yeah. Sorry. Like I said, I'm not used to all that political stuff.
His timing is off. All right. So I wonder if that's not a genetic thing.
I don't know.
Now, I had an entire foster family, and I had the boys, and there was 9 siblings, and none of them could really speak clear. They all had a genetic like lisp, and they really struggled.
So
But other than them just doing that, they were happy. Both the babies were happy.
and she was good with them. How was he with them when he interacted with them when you knew them? Gary.
Good. He would, but the only thing I would keep getting on him about is smoking around him. I would like, Gary, don't be smoking around my nieces. I smoke cigarettes, but I don't smoke around kids. And I would get on him about it. He's like, I'm sorry, Julie, I'm sorry. He put his head down and walk off. He was very quiet and timid.
Oh, he was. So his personality wasn't aggressive. It was very timid.
Well, that could have changed over the years.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
No, that speaks volumes.
I was
Nope,
just
that speaks volumes. I'm coming. Nope,
because
that
I
speaks
wasn't.
volumes. He was timid to a man.
Right.
That speaks volumes of how he would treat a woman.
Go ahead, Joey. You can finish.
Sorry, Joey. I did not mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
I just, I
just
know
one time.
that.
when I got out my prison term for doing felony fleeing and looting, I was walking down Fourth Avenue in Gallup Bliss, and they lived in. I didn't know they lived in that White House. I was walking by with my ex-wife Brittany, and he was sitting there, and I walked up on his porch. That was the day I kicked his door in. He was like, I was like, "Where's my sister at?" And he was like, "She's in there asleep." I said, "I want to talk to her." He said, "No, she's asleep." I said, "I bet I do." I kicked his door open, and she was sitting there on the couch, wide awake, watching TV.
Wow, I wonder why he didn't want you near her.
He didn't want none of us in there. He was starting to cut her off, probably brown that tie. Yeah.
So what
That
did
was-
she say when you went in and she was awake? What was her
She's
response
like,
to you?
"Joey, what are you doing? What are you doing?" I said, "I wanted to see you." I said, "I just got pregnant. I ain't seen you. What?" And that was 2000. Yeah. I was like, "What is going on?" And she's like, "We just moved down here, and I'm tired." He did not want me around that girl, but I forced my way around that girl.
Have you
so
heard of
sad.
any friends that she had? Like, did she have any friends in the area? Like, I know places talk, but I feel like when these cases come out, it's the norm for these friends to come out of the woodwork, but it's
Yeah.
not happening in this case. Like, did she not have friends? Was she so isolated that she was cut off from everybody?
No, Christian Mullins, Mila. What is Mila's last name? I can't remember Mila's last name. Kayla Siders, Kristen Smathers. She had all kinds of friends. She was a cheerleader. She had all kinds of friends.
But none later in life.
Well,
None
had him,
recently.
like when she was married to him, she still had
No.
all these friends.
Nope. As soon as she married him, everybody was like, "Yep, gone."
Okay, that says a lot right there.
Yeah, it does. I'm wondering if, the fact that he said timid, usually when men are timid, you know what I mean, like that, they don't feel like a man. Like, I wonder if he took that out on her and that's when he became the man. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
He was the dominator, is what we call it.
Yeah. Yeah, like dominating her because he wasn't the dominant one out in public or in his real life.
Because he realized that he could control her, and so that probably made his, he felt all big and bad. You know what I mean? He could control somebody. He knew he couldn't do that with a man.
Nope. No.
What do you think his parents, what role do you think they played in this? Do you think that they were more of the aggressor, like the ones with the, helping the abuse happen per se? Or do you think that they were victims themselves?
Old man Gary was. I liked him. I liked Gary. I did. Lynn. Now that one right there, she was in my sister's ear left and right.
Yeah, so you had two people controlling her at that point then.
So you
Yeah.
had Lynn could have been the brain behind the whole thing.
The whole aggressor. The whole person.
Well, wasn't it even the detective said that they thought that she was the mastermind behind everything that was going on?
Yep, they sure did. Yes, they sure did.
Was he an only child?
Huh?
Was he an only child?
No, he's got 4 sisters.
He's got 4
Yeah.
sisters.
He's the
Remember
only son, though.
one.
No, I think Linda's the oldest. I'm pretty sure Linda is the oldest.
No, I mean of Linda and I'm terrible with names.
Yeah,
Is-
Lynn and Gary, he's the only son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay,
You know,
that
I think-
explains so much.
I think it was Jamie that brought this question up before. I'm not sure, but she asked a good question. I'm wondering what you think about it. The sisters obviously moved on, have their own life, right? Why was
Yeah.
Gary still at home living with mom and dad?
Yeah.
I ask my brother that same thing every time I talk to him. Why are you still living at home with mom and dad? I don't know.
Is he
I
the
don't-
youngest out of the girls?
I think there's one younger than him. I think he's second to the last.
Yeah, but still he's the boy. She probably babied him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only boy.
Yeah, that's Mama's boy, and she's not gonna have anybody taking
him away from her. You take
exactly.
her away from her family, but you can't take him away from me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so obvious to me. And I hate that it is because I wish I was like this, like, I wish I lived in La La Land like a lot of people get the luxury of doing.
So Joey,
Sorry, I'm just before whoever was going to talk, I'm going to interrupt. Guys, I'm bad at this. You know I am.
you're fine.
But
Go
I see a
ahead.
lot of people in the chat, and I just wanted to correct some misinformation for those people that are in here. She did not have a baby at 13 years old. She'd gotten pregnant at 14, married at 15, had a baby 2 months later. There was
Yes.
no baby at 13. Everyone's looking for this baby that she had at 13. It was non-existent. She did not get pregnant at 13. It
That
was
was
14.
Joey's kid.
That
Yeah.
was my fault. Everything just hit me, and I was trying to add up all. I was like, man, this ain't adding up. And then when he was asking me, I was like, that didn't add up. No, that was Phoenix that asked me, and I was like, then I added it up, and I was like, 2000. Yeah, that'd be about right. About 14. Had it 15.
Yeah, so if we can correct that when you guys see people saying it politely, just because the amount of misinformation, it gathers other stories and it makes the story just get completely outside of what it should be or is. You know what I mean? Like we want to know what really happened. We're looking, you know what I mean? And all these stories that come from that missing child that doesn't exist is just a waste of time. And you know what I mean? Like we want to keep with facts, and so I just wanted to put that out there.
100%.
Carefree. This is her brother.
Well, you
that's
guys have a good night. I got to get to bed. I have to tend to my mother early in the morning and stuff. So you all have a good night.
Night,
And thank you
Dreamer.
for unblocking me.
Night, Dreamer.
Good night, Dreamer.
I was going to answer somebody in the comments, and I lost my train of thought. But anyway, go ahead. Oh, I was saying that this is her brother up in the panel. That's how he knows how bad things were at home when they were growing up.
But he was not around for the recent children or to know what was going on in, the recent past. So for everyone, I see a comment saying, why didn't he get them help? He was unaware and had no relationship close with them recently.
No. And this question is always asked to me, why didn't you? Why didn't you? Why didn't you? I'm going to repeat it, and I'm going to keep repeating it. I have been in the rehabilitation corrections department half my life. There's nothing I could do if I didn't know nothing.
Right.
Because I sure as hell would have.
Yeah.
So, Joey, was there any talk when they contacted your parents of your mom and dad taking any of the kids while she was in jail?
Can I tell you something?
Absolutely.
I lost my 4 kids, right? I'm sitting in the court, and the children's services woman walks over to me. My mom and dad's supposed to take my kids. And she walks over, and my mom has called them and said, we have changed our mind and did not take our kids. They wouldn't take my kids. They're not going to take Elizabeth's kids. But the bad thing was Jeremy's baby mom came in, Long John Silver's, put Jordan on the counter and said, I can't take care of him no more. And my mom and dad got grandparent custodial rights to him.
Oh, wow.
Jordan. Yeah. So
Wow.
they'll do anything for his kids. But me and Elizabeth, I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to happen.
So sad.
That's
I
fact.
wish
Well, at this point, I don't know. It would be better that none of the kids did go to them. You know what I mean?
Well, no, it wouldn't be, but just where she portrayed that she'd been looking for her all this time, and now she knows where she's at, and nobody's reaching out to help is what I was getting at.
Right.
Yeah, no. And I know how that situation is, sitting in them places like she is right now, scared to death, not knowing what's going on. I know what she's going through. And I feel bad.
Yeah.
How was when you kicked the door in? How was their house, or how was the Siders' house when you guys lived next door? Were they clean people then?
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
I mean, yeah, you look at pictures from 4 years ago and you see pictures of inside of where they lived. It looked nothing like that.
No, no, they were actually. That's what I'm trying to say. They were clean people. I'm not going to take something from something that's not there. They were actually clean people. Didn't work, but they clean. They were clean.
Yeah, so something happened in the last 4 years, and especially the last year, because that's where you can see where a lot of things changed in the last year.
Yeah, I can speculate because obviously I was in Ross Institution in Ohio, so since last August, and I just got out May 6th. So other than that, I don't know. I would call my mom. I'd be like, "Have you heard from my sister?" No. Okay. And then finally that Christmas, she was like, "You ain't gonna believe this." She just came out of nowhere and came and see me. They said the kids and stuff were in Wyoming. Come to find out, they wasn't in Wyoming. They were sitting there suffering.
Wow.
Do we know if Gary Jr. or Elizabeth have any kind of criminal record?
Sissy, no, absolutely never, ever has she ever been in trouble. Gary, I don't know if he's got DUIs. I've heard he's got decent exposures, DUIs. The thing that scares me to death, if he's got DVs, he was beating my sister.
I heard he had an indecent exposure.
I heard he's got 4 decent exposures, and I heard I don't know.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And the DV, right? And child abuse?
Yep. Well, now, definitely.
Who was that against? If he was married to your sister, who was the domestic violence charge against then?
That's something where I want to see the report on that because that's my sister. I'm not going to speak on it.
I have the report on that, and it just gives the initials CS. So I thought that it was his mom.
Unless he hit Chloe.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but that means it would have been reported.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
I'm just saying CS, they're going to twist us every which way. I'm just going to go ahead and say what everybody else is going to say. It could have been Chloe, could have been the mom. That's about as far as I can go with that.
Yeah.
Wait,
The only
deported?
reason I don't think it was the child is because when the investigator said that they entered that house, they said that they were unaware that there were any children there. So they couldn't have been there if it was for the DV investigating. If they thought kids were there, it wouldn't have been a child. They would have assumed that a child was there.
That's true. That's right. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm speculating on this. I speculate. I don't know.
Ira, can you elaborate on the deportation?
What
is it?
deportation?
What?
Huh?
I thought it was you that said that he could have been deported.
No, I've never heard that. No, I've never heard that.
I swear I just heard that.
I've never heard that.
No, it was the domestic violence situation, because that's how they found the children, where they went there and knocked on the door and they were not allowed in. So they went back and got a search warrant and then came into the house, and that's when they found the children. So they were unaware that any children were there, but they were there investigating a DV report, like domestic violence.
When you said D, I heard because I was reading report. D report, I heard D.
Oh, that's all right. But I just feel like, yeah, who would have reported him? And you're saying the initials are CS, but would mom really have reported him if they were in, if that could have gotten him in that much trouble?
Maybe the neighbor Mike next door did it.
Did he have a girlfriend?
I don't know what's up with Mike. That was weird.
Yeah, me too. I want to know. I'm with you.
Do we have DNA on all the kids yet, or no?
No, they're not saying anything yet on that.
And I'm sorry, Mom. Top right picture.
What?
That's not a nice person. Like, you can read people's eyes.
Yeah, who is Mike? I definitely want to know who that is.
So no, really, honestly, who is Mike? Mike is the neighbor, but how do we know about Mike, and what is Mike saying?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, the daughter's boyfriend brought it up in the message there, saying that they broke up because of the neighbor next door, Mike. So
Yeah,
obviously,
that's super weird to me.
obviously Mike knew there were children in the house, but then the police said they talked to all the neighbors and they claimed they didn't know there was any children in the house.
And we've learned how many times to trust the police? Like, come on.
I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I'm there.
Do we
I don't know. That's really weird.
Do what
I
I
agree. Do your thing and dig into Mike.
I
Yeah.
wonder, could people have been coming in and the children being used as, you know,
Yeah,
I-
traffic digger or whatever.
yeah, was there trafficking going on there with the
No,
children
no.
being used?
I don't think there was. Now, do you want to know what's laying on my brain? And I hate to say this. I hope that they was not making money selling. You know what I'm talking about. And I'm not going any further.
Yeah.
That's what I'm. Yeah,
All that
that's what
scares me because there has to be a reason.
It is a possibility. I'm throwing all
There's
possibilities.
something there. That's all I'm going to say. There's something there. The minute that whoever shared this text and Mike got brought in, the neighbor, he would have known. He knew. And then that made that relationship end. That's
Maybe Mike was
weird.
doing something and he lied to the police because the police claimed the neighbors claimed they didn't know there was any children in the house.
Well, this was
Well, of
last
course
year.
he's not
Maybe
going
Mike
to.
doesn't live there anymore.
This is why I'm putting everything that's coming to me out here so everybody can see. Maybe, okay, maybe this is going on. Maybe they're lying. You know, that's why I do this because I'm trying to help her.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, it's hard to figure out.
The
Also,
only
I can't wait.
I
How
heard
long
from
does it take
you-
the DNA test to come back? Because what if these are not all his children? What if she was being
That's what I was.
trafficked?
That's what I was trying to say. I wasn't trying to talk about the kids. I would never bring it out of my mouth. I was talking about my sister being trafficked.
Right.
That would be hard to even think about.
Yeah. But I feel
I'm
like
sorry,
in such a
my
small
brain just
town, wouldn't people
goes
talk?
through things.
I feel like people would know. Wouldn't that be like a talk of the town kind of thing?
Unless you're trying to keep it law and lockdown, no one can be embarrassed.
Yeah, because in a small town, there's people that keep things hush hush too. So, it's a
She was
tough one.
completely isolated, though. She had no friends, no contact with her family. Right?
Here's another thing too. Now that I'm thinking about it, everybody was saying there for a little bit that they thought that Gary Jr. was door dashing, but maybe he wasn't door dashing, because I'm telling you, if he smelt that bad and bought food to my door, I'm not gonna eat it.
And let me ask you something. When you're door dashing, right, 100%, you have insurance. How the hell is he paying for his insurance to DoorDash?
Yeah, my other brother does that, and you actually have to pay extra for that.
Yep. My wife does. What's that stuff called? Yeah, I think it might be that. It might be DoorDash. But you do DoorDash, don't you? You drive around with it.
I don't know. I know Ivory will get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, my wife does it. She's right. You gotta have extra, some kind of extra insurance or something.
Right.
Yeah, and these people don't seem to me like the extra insurance type of people.
No. If you would sit down,
Yeah. I don't know. It just doesn't, I don't know. Either way, she's a victim. You have to see that Elizabeth is a victim. Now, could she be a perpetrator? Possibly. You could be both. Both can be true at the same time, but she's definitely a victim. And,
Yeah.
again, she depended on them for survival just like the kids did. Like, where
I
was she
agree.
gonna go?
Yeah.
was
She
fighting
didn't. She didn't know any. Yeah.
everybody.
She didn't know anything else but them.
And then
And
what?
my mom was a
You go
victim
and you
of
call
just
the
regular
police.
DV, and I think this goes way past that.
And then what happens? She calls the police. She's got no friends. She's got no family, and they're all gonna call her a liar and make her look crazy. Like,
Yeah.
what do you do at that point?
and possibly get her hurt. Hurt.
Right.
If you don't have a support system during a DV, a regular, what we're accustomed to, this is way past that, obviously, in my opinion.
Be right back. Be right back.
But if you don't have,
And the thing of it is even if she was in a DV situation, which would be a bad situation, it's hard enough to get 2 kids out of a house, much
right.
less 16.
And when this all went down, all she cared about was making sure her kids were safe, correct?
Yeah.
Again, I'm not well read on this. That's why I'm tuning in and listening and asking questions.
Somebody in the comments just said, could some of the kids be Gary's seniors? Now, this was my thought originally, and I don't know.
Oh my God.
Now, my whole thing was, what was the rush for them? I get she was pregnant at 14. Like, I understand that. But usually your first inclination as a parent, whether it's Elizabeth's parents or Gary's parents, is not to rush and let the kids get married, right? So you gotta wonder if the marriage wasn't forced to hide something. Now, if a 14-year-old is pregnant, people start asking questions. But if a 14-year-old is pregnant and married, then the questions aren't really getting asked because there's just an assumption that the husband is the father, right? So I'm
Right.
wondering, in my mind, if that marriage wasn't pushed to stop potential questions.
Could be. Could be.
That's a good point.
I hope not, I agree, but that would explain the mother-in-law's audacious behavior.
Yeah. Yep.
Even if it wasn't the first one.
That would explain why she wanted to homeschool all of them too, to keep all of them, everybody close.
I don't feel like she was given that choice.
Because honestly, what does school provide? Education and meals. At least 2 of them now, right? Like, so,
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted a break from the day and all these kids were so exhausting and you didn't want to deal with them, you send them to school. They're being educated, fed. You get a break during the day. Like, it just, it
So
seems
to me,
easier to
it
send
doesn't
them
feel
to
like she
school
got that choice.
unless there was a reason you were homeschooling. Now, is homeschooling common in that area? I don't know the area very well, but are a lot of people homeschooled in the area?
No, we go to county and there you got the city school, which is Gay Academy High School. Then you got River Valley High School, which is the county school. Then you got Adderville for or your elementary school. Then you got I think they still got Washington Elementary in town for city schools. No, there's plenty of schools.
What's the population of that town?
I don't know. I don't know. I know it's considered a village now instead of a city.
I
A
was
village
gonna say,
of
it was like
200.
1,000 only.
Was it?
Wait, someone in the comments said they thought Gary was not the father of the firstborn.
We don't know that.
We don't
We
know
don't
that.
know
I
that.
didn't think
I mean,
so.
that we're speaking possibilities here. We're speculating on what the situation was, but we don't know any of that to be fact. I just want to put that out there, the differentiate between fact and speculation.
Yeah.
Now, could it be a possibility that maybe, like Joey said, when he was around and the older ones were born, they didn't talk? So maybe if they were delayed and they weren't talking, and maybe it took them longer to get potty trained, that they couldn't get them in kindergarten. And then if each one of them had problems, maybe it just kept continuing and continuing to where maybe they didn't think that they could put them in school. I mean, is that too far-fetched?
Not too far fetched, no.
Well, it's kind of far fetched if it happened to 16 kids all at
Yeah,
once.
that's where, if it was like 5 kids max, I would be down with it, but no.
Now, somebody in the
You
comments
kids are
just
hiding
mentioned
something.
the dark bruises around her arms. Do we know that they're actual bruises? Like, they look like bruises. And the only thing that makes me question the fact that they're bruises is that they're perfectly circular. Like, it could only be a bruise like that if something was tied around her arm.
No, I haven't seen that photo, but what part of the arm is it?
The
I
forearm.
want to go about 4 inches above the elbow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because somebody was
No,
mentioning a few
I'm
days ago
sorry,
saying it
below.
was the wrist and they thought it was from handcuffs. And I'm like, I didn't see the photo, so I didn't know.
I
Texas
saw a
real.
photo that looked like the wrist,
My
It
sister
and
looked
had
like
her literal arms looked like that part, like from your wrist. Probably, I'm not good with inches, guys. I'm gonna say a whole middle finger. It looked either somebody,
yeah, it's right there. I can see it immediately,
now was that
and
a
it's not.
bruise
yes.
or
Do you
was
see
that
what
a
I'm talking about? You see
tattoo?
how it's smaller?
Does she
Yeah,
have a tattoo there that we know of?
no, she has no tattoos. None.
But do you see what I'm talking about at the hands? How it
Yeah,
seems way smaller? That's
yep.
what stood out to me.
Yeah,
Right
that's
there.
further up on the arm. So I wonder that because it's such a even shape, it wouldn't be like, doesn't look like fingerprints or something
And
like
I
that.
don't think it's like, I don't even think it's handcuffs. It's like, I don't know
Well,
what,
you wouldn't, but
I don't know
they
what
can't.
people bound people with. I
They
That
don't
looks
know.
like
can't.
a
They
clamp,
can't.
like they used to like clamp the chains on the wall. Then you had a little cuff on the end of it. That's what that looks like.
Right.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
something that's a bruise of an imprint. Something made that imprint.
And it was tight, and that's been there for a while because that's embedded.
And they're not going to put handcuffs up that high.
Right.
No.
Right.
Yes, Gary Sr. had some marks too.
Did he?
Hey,
Yeah.
if you look on her hand down there, the one with her thumb, does that look like a bruise going across the top of her hand? I'm just saying.
Can't
It's all
see
in the
because the
comments.
chat. Hold on.
Yeah,
I can't
it's
see with the comments.
it's yeah.
You
See
guys
it
can
now?
clear the comments. I think if you just hold them down.
Yeah,
Oh, never
right
mind.
there.
Slide it to the right. You can get the comments off.
There you go.
See her. Well, it would be her right hand, me, but all the way down on top of her thumb. Look how dark it is right there on top of her
Yeah,
hand.
I see that. Mm-hmm.
Her arms are very tiny. Is anybody else seeing that?
Yeah, they are very thin.
I
She has
noticed
never
hers are
been.
tiny, but the other three look very well fed.
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if her body just finally exhausted from the kids, or they wasn't feeding her or something. Was they trying to unalive my
I
sister?
mean,
I
just
don't.
the red around her eyes. I mean, she just does not look healthy at all.
No, she looks like she's on the verge of, you know what I'm talking about, like done.
Yeah.
But her arms, her wrist looks like boundary. Like,
She kind of looks like the life has just been like totally sucked out of her.
Yeah, she just looks exhausted, just totally
oh,
exhausted.
makes
Yeah.
me so sad. I can't.
So, what is this
That
comment? Gary Sider Sr.'s brother and sister died on the same day in California.
Okay, I'll tell you that. And I think I might have sent it to you. So, yes, his father had two kids that passed away on the same date. They were 8 years old and 10 years old. He was drinking and driving, and they were unalived in that. But then there was also a, oh my goodness, I can't remember how old. I'm wanting to say 18 months, but then I'm wanting to say 2 months, and I don't have it in front of me.
I think it was 18 months. I think it was 18 months you told me last night.
Yeah, 18 months and passed away from malnutrition.
And who was that?
That was Gary Sr.'s father.
Father.
The father had siblings, or it was Gary's siblings?
It would have been Gary Sr.'s dad, so it would have been Gary Sr.'s siblings.
So I'm seeing I'm seeing a theme here. So
Huge pattern.
malnutrition, right? That's obviously. And then you have
Nice,
alcoholism.
Yeah.
So alcoholism tends to be a theme here, and we're saying that Gary Jr. drinks, and most, you know, people get beer muscles and they become violent, and you gotta wonder how much he was drinking.
Now, so if those two were unalived in the vehicle, and then the 18-month-old from malnutrition, so is he the only surviving child?
But didn't someone put in the comments that he also had those same markings? Because that would be kind of permanent. If you're bound for a long time, that's going to be permanent. Is that not what I saw?
Do what?
That the guy, Gary, upper left,
Senior.
that's senior? I thought that was junior. No, okay, senior.
Junior's the down. Junior's the
But-
younger
So
one.
senior, or did they say senior or junior had the same markings? Because they said one of the two, I don't remember.
I said
Junior
senior
had-
had marks on his arm.
Okay, so that would be normal to him, correct?
What?
So that would be normal to him.
Oh, I don't know.
Not saying it's okay. I'm just saying to him,
Yeah.
he would consider that okay. Does that make sense? So then, does Gary Jr. have any of those?
I did not see any on him.
I didn't see anything on him.
What about the daughters, the three daughters? Do they have any contact with those parents?
Yeah, they
Oh,
went to visit. You're talking about Gary Jr.'s sisters?
There's pictures of
Really?
them sitting right on that porch that's in in that house.
Huh.
Yeah. That's what made me. I was like, yeah, Linda, I got you. I started putting her out there. I was like, you was sitting in front of the house and you couldn't do nothing for my nieces. I did. I went the hell off.
Now, did your mom say that Linda ever mentioned to her that she was concerned or maybe like, I'm a little worried?
As far as I know, I don't know how the conversations went. Obviously, I wasn't there, but to my knowledge, she probably asked how Elizabeth was doing because that's just how mom is. She would do that just to check up. But other than that, I don't know.
Now, senior there, is it true that people were saying that he has dementia? Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. That's new to me. I heard it the other day that his lawyer came out and said that he was trying to do some kind of incompetent thing because he's got early signs of dementia or he's in dementia. And I'm like, I don't care if he's in dementia or not. Obviously, no.
Because maybe if there was marks on him, maybe they were trying to keep him contained if he had dementia. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, the man didn't have dementia for the last 18 years. So there's that.
Right. Well, yeah.
100%. I know that for a fact. That one,
I would like to
can
know
do.
why he's in a wheelchair.
See, this is all new to me. When I left, they were all up walking. They were all younger than pictures that everybody's been showing. And when they're
Yeah.
younger, that's when I knew them.
Yeah, as far as 4 years ago, he was standing. It wasn't in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Gary Sr. and Lynn never worked?
No, not as far as I ever seen. No, never, ever. Their daughters, yes, but them three and my sister, of course, no.
That was my next question. Do we know if his sisters, Junior sisters, even, I mean, obviously the one visits, but I mean, are the other two close?
As far as I know, they washed their hands of them.
There's three other ones, I agree.
Yeah, three. There's three other ones, and they don't have nothing to do with the family.
So it's just Linda.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the other kids went their separate ways. So Linda used to tell us all the time when we was younger that they couldn't stand. The other girls couldn't stand there, but we didn't know why. I mean, we just thought it was just a normal thing when you get out of the house. But I'm starting to see why now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, part of me feels like, what kind of man, you said you liked Gary Sr., right? What kind of man was he? Was he like a dominant man? Was she more
He's like my
dominant?
dad. No, it's like my dad. A little bit like my dad, but not, he's soft spoken and stuff, but he was not dominant at all. My dad's dominant, but him, no.
Yeah, because
Lynn-
looking at his wife, she looked like the dominant one.
Oh, for sure. I'm telling you, this woman.
I don't know. I could just see it in a picture. Just looking at the picture, I'm like, yep, she's the dominant one.
I agree. It's obvious. I have a mother-in-law.
Joey,
Uh,
did you ever meet Gary's brother? I think his name's Brian. Gary Jr.'s brother.
I didn't know he had a brother. I just knew it was him and 4 sisters. I didn't know he had a brother.
Okay. I'd found a post and it was actually on Christina's page, where they had took a picture and he was like my beautiful mother and father.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't stand to look. I have not been on their pages since this has all came out. I didn't even know they had pages. I didn't know, and I don't care to even go over there. I have
No,
nothing
you're
to
fine.
do.
I was just curious if you knew him.
No. What's his last name?
Cider.
No, I don't know. No. I didn't
So
even
there
know
was
this
never
guy.
a brother in the picture that you know
No,
of?
ma'am. No, ma'am.
That's interesting.
That is
I've
it.
never seen. No, I've never seen another guy. No.
Somebody
Hmm.
might want to do a welfare check on Brian, just saying.
Yeah.
That's
You
that's
said Brian. I was like, that's my dad's name. I'm like, no. Yeah, I don't know.
I have to go back and look on that post.
but it
I'm
wouldn't be the
always
brother-in-law with the last name Siders.
Right.
No, I know. Now I know that one of the sisters was with Mikey Saunders, and the other one was with Ronnie or Donnie Fletcher, and it still is, because they used to work for my dad. They're twins. Ronnie and Donnie are twins. They used to help my dad put roofs on.
And how were they
No.
related to the Siders?
They're married to their sisters.
Oh.
And Mikey's married. I don't. Linda's either married to Mikey. I don't know. I don't know which one it is, but I know they're married to him.
And they worked with your dad?
They did at one time, and then Dad had to fire him.
Not recently.
No, long time ago.
Now I did hear that too, Pandy. Gary Sr.'s grandma was unalived by his step grandfather, who then committed unaliving.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what
Yeah.
happened?
It's in the news article. I kind of forgot about that. Gary Sr.'s grandpa was unalived by his step grandfather because she was remarried, and then he unalived himself. It's in that news article I sent you, Ivory.
So by the
This is-
sound of it, it sounds like this family comes from a really long line of sick, psychologically ill people who have a
Yeah.
history of.
A lot of abuse, yeah.
A lot. Sounds like
And we all know how abuse runs, right? It just runs in circles with the families.
Yeah.
It goes generation to generation, and so it fits.
because we think it's okay because we're raised around it, seeing it, and we're growing up. Oh, okay, that was okay. He was doing it. Okay, that's okay for me to do it. Let's do it.
Kiss,
That's
kiss.
how-
They went to the house because there was a warrant for Gary Jr. and then found out. Go ahead, Joey. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. No, yeah, I was just listening. No, you're fine.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of toxicity in this family line, the Siders. And honestly, it fits. The drinking, the abuse, I don't know, there's an overwhelming amount of really weird deaths in this family.
Right.
I just really hope they don't put a gag order on this.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'll be arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one.
Wait, did you say you might
I
be
will.
arrested?
No, I will be because I will not shut my mouth. I will not.
As long as you're not like defaming or telling lies, how can they do that?
You're not. That's my
Now
little
let me ask
sister.
you, Do you have any communication with your sister's lawyer or anyone inside?
Just I CO texted me. That's as far as I'm gonna go with that. Told
I'm
me where
only,
my
I'm
sister
only,
was.
I'm only curious, like, is it if you would be able to get updates on the conditions of the children?
No, they're not gonna give me nothing. If I call up there, they're gonna be like, just turn yourself in. That's what they're gonna tell me.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
Carol,
so I'm not even gonna
Carol,
wait.
this is just one warning. Please be nice in the comments. Joey has come, told his story. He hasn't lied about anything. We're all just trying to figure this all out. And if you would like to be a part of that, that's great. But please, let's leave the negative comments out. There's enough going on with this family.
Oh
I'm not
yeah, I
trying
want to
to.
say, I want to jump off that comment that Carol just made, and this isn't me being rude. Y'all know me. But my whole thing is everyone keeps saying he's out here trying to be a hero, but what's making him a hero? He's out here, really just trying to figure out what happened to these children like everybody else because he just admitted he wasn't around. He's given the information that he knows about the family that could potentially help figure out what was going on. But
That's
I
his
mean,
sister.
why do people keep coming at him? Because what hero? I mean, he's sitting here trying to figure it out like everybody else, trying to get to the truth for the concern of the children. But I mean, he's giving what he knows to be true about his sister. And that's a truth that none of us can validate or not validate. So again, take it with a grain of salt. But Carol, why didn't you just ask that question before you made assumptions? He didn't speak up earlier because he wasn't around. He was incarcerated and did not know any of this was going on. So what was he supposed to speak up on?
I mean,
And
if
he
my
also did try to go on several panels and speak out, but people wanted to attack his past instead of letting him speak what he knows.
That's why I'm in here and I go to Phoenix. This right here is because y'all are respectful and I'm willing to do that. It's the moment that someone's like, "Oh, you did it." You know what? You're right. I did. Goodbye.
There's no reason to be like that.
It's there is absolutely no reason to be like that. Like I can see, and I was saying this before you got in here, Joey. For people to listen to what the man's saying, you can believe him or not believe him. That's completely up to you. He's telling a story about a truth of him and her growing up that we could never know, right? Take it,
Correct.
believe it, or don't believe it.
That's
That's
his
completely
life.
up to you. However, everyone keeps saying he's out here for clout and he's out here to make money, but I didn't see a darn gift thrown his entire life before. I haven't
Right.
seen him go out there with GoFundMe's. I'm trying to raise money for my nieces and nephews. I haven't seen him do anything that is what you consider to be clout calling or trying to monetize or anything like that. So this man has spoken up about his own wrongdoings and his own history and past, which we weren't owed that. And now he's sitting here just with the rest of us trying to figure out what happened to those children and where they were wronged. And he's willing to throw his own sister under the bus if he feels like she was absolutely involved but we're all thinking that she's a victim. So I don't understand what the hate for this guy is other than pure drama and nonsense.
And we wouldn't know their childhood had he not come and spoke out.
I'm the only one in my family speaking out. I'm the only one.
And let
I mean,
me tell you about
his
what I
family. I
learned.
mean, you can't say what only he knows. We don't know.
Usually
He's telling us.
people are quick to speak out, right, with these families, but when they don't, you really got to wonder what they're hiding. He's out here speaking the truth, even if it makes him look bad. But
You love
everybody
me.
else is keeping
Joey,
really
you just
quiet. You
gotta
gotta wonder
ignore
why.
the keyboard warriors. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
If I was a
oh,
mod, I would have already taken some of that stuff down because that's not okay.
Jeremy is. If you call that speaking out, then I don't know what to tell you. He's over downing our sister. Yeah, our sister wrapped her life up. That's not something you say to your sister. Like, go over and read the post and say, "Oh, they're speaking out." They're not speaking out. They're downing her.
Well, they knew more than you, so
Joey, if it makes you feel better, that creator
Let's not
Yeah,
talk.
let's just don't even go there.
Hold on. What creator? Because first of all, I'll tell you what though, Crime Talk Talk knows her crap. I'll be the first one to defend Crime Talk Talk
Yeah.
if that's what you're talking about.
Well, that's the person that just.
She can ask a question. She wasn't just rude about it. She's just stating what she sees.
Yeah,
So
she wasn't rude
don't
about it.
attack people. She wasn't rude to him.
No, she
And
wasn't.
Crime Talk Talk,
No, you're
I'm
right.
telling
I'm
you that
sorry. I was
you got
scrolling
to
too
give people
fast.
time to catch up
I
and
was
look
scrolling
into
too
things.
fast.
Yeah,
My bad.
because I know that Crime Talk Talk will also do her homework, and she'll never
Oh,
speak
yeah.
a false truth.
Yeah,
So
I was
you
scrolling too
gotta.
fast.
I
Not
think me and her.
everyone sees every
Sorry, Condo
lie.
Talk.
Not everybody sees everything. Like there's a lot that I've missed and I can't speak on. So not everyone's up to date on everything or has got all the just be mindful that people may not be attacking just because they're asking questions. That's not a bad thing, guys. That's a good thing. Even if the questions are the ones you like, all questions are good because that means that people are really trying to figure out what's going on.
Well said.
For me personally, it's just hard to read the comments because of that white line.
Is that your wife that's in here, Joey?
I think she's in there. Jeremy had a massive stroke. Yeah, Jeremy.
okay.
Oh,
I was-
yeah, that's my. Yeah, my wife. My wife is actually.
So Crime Talk Talk said, "Oh, I did see Jeremy say something wild today." Crime Talk, you want to come up? Oh, she may have a
I just sent her a guest request.
That's what I just. Yeah.
I'm gonna rotate out and let some others up. Is that okay, Beach?
Yeah, I seen Jeremy to touch on what he's saying
Plenty of
that. Oh,
panels, but
sorry.
I'm good.
Sorry about that. He was saying that Jeremy is, being a D-bag, kind of. He did make a post today. He's like, finally, I'm Mr. Popularity. I finally made it. And I was just completely stunned by that because this is about his nieces and nephews. But
Yeah.
he's saying that he is basically like, yay, I got popular off this.
Oh wow. See, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have seen I just found out about Joey, actually. I knew about Jeremy, but I haven't looked at his social media other than what people have sent me. So I really can't speak much on Jeremy because I haven't really looked into Jeremy. You know what I mean? Like that, if you know what I mean. But so he said that. So what's going on with the Jeremy thing? Jeremy is speaking out against you, Joey?
No, he's speaking out against Elizabeth, just putting her down in the post. Like saying she wrapped her life up.
So he's
Just
downing
take
her.
her-
He's,
Yeah.
oh wow.
We'll see the post. You read between the lines of what he's saying, and it's just really, really bad.
Now you said that he had a stroke recently, a while back. Did he have any lasting effects from that? Could that be kind of?
Well, he's just now learning how to get full motion, functional in his legs and stuff. He's starting to move around a lot. He's back at work and stuff.
Oh wow. And he's the one you said got upset with you, I guess, because you were coming out talking about you were laying it all out on the table, right? The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah, my whole family's mad at me.
Are they afraid something's going to get out that they don't want out, or?
I don't know.
Well,
I
the
don't know.
abuse doesn't look good, you know what I mean? But if he's being honest, and it fits, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jeremy posted about traumas in your guys' childhood. Can you tell about it? That one's to you there, Joey.
Oh, me and Jeremy, we'd fight. I'd sometimes hit him for no reason. And like I said, I was very violent back in the day, but never towards sissy. Never, Jeremy, yeah. I think it was just me lashing out because I seen he was getting picked. But yeah, there was multiple times me and Jeremy fought.
Oh, yeah, brothers and sisters are going to fight, no matter what.
That's exactly what he's talking about.
Joey, can I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't want this to come off disrespectful. I just want to hear your side of the story is all. I'm assuming you know Casey and that he's been speaking out and saying that you threw a ratchet at your wife's head and split her head open.
Yeah.
And I'm not accusing you of doing that. Of course, I have talked about it, but I talk about everything. But I want to know your side of the story. If you want to share. If you don't have to.
I just got really angry that day and got frustrated. And I picked Ratchet up. Me and Rachel were arguing, and I launched it at her. I didn't mean to hit her in the head with it, but that's what happened.
Okay. Well, I'm
That right
impressed
there
that
was a
you
very
admitted it.
honest answer. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I have
Yeah,
that,
I'm
that's why
impressed.
I feel like I'm kind of with Joey here because he is telling the truth even if that like let's be real, that doesn't sound too good, right? But he's telling the truth even if it makes him he's putting it all out on the table. And you got to
Yeah.
give credit where credit's due, and that's believable to me. I'm sorry.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that at all. So, yeah. But thank you.
I'm a very blunt and honest man. Lying don't get you nowhere, so you might as well say it if you like it or not.
Right. Correct.
Well, I'll say I said something about Joey earlier being in his live, and I watched how many different ways and how many times he was asked the same question, but the answer never changed on any of them.
Also let them know. Yeah, I agree. And honestly, it's that kind of honesty that he just gave that I mean, I believe him. And I've said it, I'll say it a million times. The fact that he's willing to be honest, even if it just made him look bad in front of how many people. You know what I mean? Like honesty is honesty. And so you got to give respect to that, which makes me think that why would he lie about the other stuff when he's not lying to protect himself?
Correct. Absolutely.
I also want to add this is Joey's wife. Joey was also undiagnosed with BPD his entire life. He didn't get the mental health treatment that he needed. And Joey has recently, because of me, gotten that help. And he got diagnosed with the problems and he's getting therapy for it and he's medicated now. And he's a different person. Yes, there's still some things that he's got to work out, like how he lashed out on that podcast, but he had just found out about his nieces, just found out about his sister. And then he hears some guy screaming about how his entire family are POSs and he's a POS. And he did lash out, but he is doing amazing because of the therapy. And it's going to take a process. He just went 38 years of just all this bottled up anger and all the trauma that he went through as a kid. And he's unloading all of it.
You know, you just said something that I found quite interesting. You said he has BPD?
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this. Is it possible that Elizabeth has some kind of psychological disorder that may have gone undiagnosed?
It's very likely because isn't Jeremy schizophrenic?
No, I'm the only one that's ever went to a mental health. No one else has ever been checked.
Yeah, nobody else has been checked. But in my
Right.
personal opinion, just from things that I've heard, I would say yes. And I know Jeremy has told me out of his own mouth that he's either schizophrenic. I don't know if he's not been diagnosed or if he's self-diagnosed that, but Jeremy's even said that himself. But okay, I'm giving you your phone back and I'm going back in the room and watching from the outside.
Thank you. You know, that's really interesting because again, psychological disorders also play a part in, you know, submitting to people and just the lifestyle and, you know, that's really interesting that she may have, and usually when it's something that's significant, a diagnosis, usually families tend to have diagnoses as well, family members. That's the only reason I was asking.
I get it.
Yeah, nobody comes from trauma without some kind of damage. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's, you know what really gets me though is the Jeremy being the one that wasn't abused as a kid, wasn't like that. And he's the one who's throwing her under the bus. That's really interesting to me.
Well, I love my sister. I told you that was my best friend. Until I find out it's for sure, I'll be there. I'm gonna be by her side. The moment I find out that lawyer says
Captain.
anything like that, I'll never speak to. I won't answer a question for nobody. She will be wiped off the face of my everything.
Wow, that was a powerful statement right there. But an honest one. Now, who was Casey, the one who's going around telling this story? Who's Casey? I missed that.
He grew up with me and my brother. Well, he grew up with my brother. I met him when I was coming back and forth from Columbus. I dated his sister, Kayla. And he goes around bragging they beat me up. Yeah, he got the best of me, and I ain't afraid to admit that. But I don't rub it in I don't go around bragging about it and stuff, and none of it happened. I kind of like Casey. I did. I wish he wouldn't have done this. He could have just came to me. I wasn't going to make a GoFundMe for my sister. It made me look bad. His sister tried to come to me, but she was hitting on me and everything. And I just told her, I said, and then she told me she had a miscarriage by me and didn't tell me and all this and that. And I'm like, that's something, yeah, that all these years later, thank you.
Right.
That's really nice. I said, you just lost a friendship, and I blocked her.
Wow.
Yeah,
always
we wait that many years just to tell somebody something like that.
Yeah, and I got the messages too, like I do, and I was like, that's just, I don't know.
So a lot of these people are coming out of the woodwork trying to down what you're saying. Do you think that ultimately it's just because you're just telling the flat out truth, the good, the bad, the
people don't
ugly, the family
yeah.
history?
People don't like truths. When it's smacking you in the face and you're not ready for it, that's what it is. And here it is, and it's smacking you in the face, and they ain't liking it.
Jeremy, what are your parents like, if you don't mind me asking, or if you don't mind saying?
My parents, they're good now, but back in the day, they were bad to me and my sister. They were bad.
What?
Yeah, obviously they're older now, so I'm sure they calmed down a bit.
Mm-hmm. This is the first I'm hearing of this, because a lot of people, Casey being one of them, has said that your parents just were great parents, and he doesn't understand how all of this happened because they were such great parents. This is interesting.
I don't know why. You know what, Casey? He's seen the good side of them. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that. But what he didn't see behind closed doors, he can't speak on. My dad put me in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Nope, I totally understand that. You're right. You know, we don't see inside.
You think I want to sit here and tell that my uncle touched me, that my dad beat on me, my mom twisted and pinched me between my legs? You think I want to sit here and say this stuff?
I get it.
No, but it does show how honest you are. It really does.
Absolutely. And I can't imagine how hard it is to come out and say that.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I've had to live with it. I've had to tell psychiatrists. That's why I don't like really going to psychiatrists, because once you get one, 6 months later, they give you a new one. I've done this my whole life. They just keep doing it, and I get tired of telling strangers every day about my kid, why I'm so depressed, why I'm stressed out. It ain't right. That's torture. You're reliving. I have to relive
I never
that.
went to one.
Yeah.
Now, Crime Talk, I don't. Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Crime Talk, I was just trying to catch Crime Talk up because I noticed she came
It's
in
living
late.
in a small town, though, is you have a good therapist.
Crime Talk, I was just trying to catch Crime Talk up because I noticed.
Yes, please catch me up.
So, Joey was telling everybody about how there was a lot of physical abuse with him and Elizabeth growing up. Now, Joey, you said that your parents were young parents also, right?
Yes, ma'am. I was born when my mom was 15 and a half. She quit school. My dad quit school.
Now, he also said, so there was a lot of abuse coming from the house. I asked him about her being married. Like, why would the parents just sign for her to get married? And, he was honest in saying that, the parents kind of just, it was easier to just be like, go ahead and get married. You know what I mean? They didn't put up a fight. They didn't, it was just easier. be like, here you go, you know, and that, and Joey, correct me if I'm saying anything wrong. I know, I would like to want to make sure she gets caught up on what you've already said, so we're not, um, and that, Jeremy was not abused though. And Joey, like Jeremy said himself, he was the golden child. Um, and so, yeah, that's the story that we've heard so far. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, thank you for catching me up. I'm so glad that I hopped in here because I've been on the completely other side of TikTok. So it's yeah, I'm just glad to hear all of this.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I'm definitely one that you got to make sure you get all the views, all the perspectives, you know. And again, I can't validate, none of us can, anything he's saying, but the honesty is showing, right? And so you know, at some point we have to really take into consideration that, you know, abuse seems to fit. They just signed her away to get married at 15. I mean, any way you look at it, and I'm not saying she's not accountable for any of it. I don't know the current situation. However, any way you look at it, Elizabeth was a victim. She was the first victim.
Yeah.
You know, 17 victims.
100% agree.
And it brings a lot of light to things too.
Yes, my parents are still married. They've been married since they had me.
And I just want to say he wasn't on here dogging his parents either. He was telling the truth because he ultimately said they ended up as they got older to be great parents and great people. You know, so if he was really just here trying to tell a story to dog people, he would have dogged them all the way, and he didn't do that. He was like, no, as they got older, they changed. They're really good people now. You know, so I mean, it comes off as very honest to me.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but respect and honesty come out of his mouth, and that's just like the complete opposite of what people have been saying. So
Yeah. He had a really good live earlier, and I've not heard him say one lie that I know of. And I've listened to him answer questions multiple times, and it's the same thing.
Yep. Now, Joey, are you able to upload your live? Do you have a YT channel?
No, ma'am, I barely know how to run TikTok.
Would you send me your live so maybe I can post it for you on mine? I just want people to be able to go. I think that I agree with She Shed. That was a great live, and I think that you opened a lot of people's eyes. The honesty was there, and I want people to see it. So I'm not trying to take your content. I won't monetize off of it, anything like that. Please don't think that. I just feel like, you know, for people who like Crime Talk, and there's a lot of people in here who haven't seen it, I just feel like that live would be very eye-opening for people if there was a way that you could get it out there that they can go back and replay that. Maybe start a YouTube. Not that he's going to monetize off this, guys, or he's trying to make anything, but just that we're asking, maybe you can make a YouTube and just download it from TikTok and upload it to YT so they can go back because I thought it was a very eye-opening, respectful live. Like, I really did. You didn't dog anybody. You told the truth. You know, I just feel like people should see that, especially if they're out here on the social media trying to slam you. You know, just give them that. This way they can be like, they can go see for themselves.
Yeah, I would love to see it, and I think you should get it out there if you're willing to let her do that, because I think people need to hear it who haven't heard your side, like myself.
Yeah,
or even if you want to open up a channel, I can walk you through it. You know,
I'll let you do it. 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 I don't know how to do this.
That's what I was going to say, Ivory, if you could walk him through it.
You know, because I'm sure he's going to be holding other lives, and you may want to just upload all your lives so people can reference it. I just feel like, you know, I was hearing the stories. I was seeing the same thing Crime Talk was, a little bit of mess here. I was getting messages from people. You guys know how that works. You know, they're sending you video clips of this and video clips of that. So I was really interested to see your live. I'm so glad you posted your story. This way we knew it was coming. We knew to expect it. But I feel like what I got out of the live really wasn't what I expected. I was expecting to see him dogging the brother and dogging everybody and just what, I was expecting to go in and see what I thought other people were trying to make it out to be. And what I got was just a lot of eye opening information and what I believe to be a lot of honesty. And so I just feel like, you changed a lot of people's minds in that live. And I watched it in the chat. And I just think that you could reach a lot more people. Like keep speaking and forget you know what I mean? There's always going to be, you're in a feud with your brother. That happens. It's family. You know what I mean? But I think the information you gave is really just, it will help people look at this like this may not be the situation everyone's trying to make it out to be. That there might have been that first victim before the 16,
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. That's all I wanted to do was tell the truth. That's it. I just wanted someone to listen, and you guys did that.
You're welcome over here anytime.
I appreciate it.
And if you
Yes,
ever feel like you
absolutely.
need to go live or you need a panel or you need a safe space, holler at me, Ivory. Just holler at us. We'll go live for you anytime.
Okay. Sounds great.
Yeah, and for those of you, we'll figure out how to get his live up and running so you guys can go back and reference it for those of you who missed it. But do me a favor, if you guys are in comment sections, correct the misinformation because it's just making the story out to be something that it's just a lot of misinformation. There's no truth going to come from that.
Right.
Yeah. And there was also somebody in the comments and they said, how do we follow this story? There's so much misinformation, AI photos. Just do your research. Follow it. Find a creator that only puts out facts and true information and do your own research even on that. And you'll know when it's fake and when it's true.
That is so true right there. That is so true.
Yeah, because you can watch a creator, but it doesn't always mean that they're putting out facts. So just research what they say. Even what I say, go research it.
Or if you're not sure, ask the question before you make it a statement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because people see things and they run with it. And I'm not going to lie, if I would have followed, all of the nonsense drama that I saw on TikTok recently, I would never have given Joey a chance to give this story. And I think there was a lot of useful information that
That's
came
why
out.
I didn't listen to any. I just went and did research myself. I mean, that helps a lot if you do it yourself and you just look around. Because some people just are not putting out the proper information. Like you said, Stacy, I mean, any one of us that are up on this panel now, you can contact us anytime if you want us to go live for you.
Absolutely. And I will tell you, Joey, we have everybody that's on this panel right now and many more have spent so many hours researching and digging and looking.
I'm sorry it took me a little longer, but I was debating what I had to do, and then when they said what they said last night, that was it. That was it.
Yeah, you got a lot to worry about, I mean, it's just so overwhelming right now.
Yeah, when my aunt texted me and got on to me about it, I said, you know what? That's it. I'm telling.
Guys, for you guys in the comments, if you guys want to listen and hear his story and not just come at him because of things you've heard, if you will follow Ivory Rose Nose up in the top right-hand corner, she is going to post his live that will explain all of it and show it all.
Yes.
And for those of you that are in here really looking for the truth of what happened to these children and, for awareness and all of that, do me a favor. Don't hit one perspective. Don't follow one creator. Don't hear one family member talk. You have to go and you have to be willing to change your mind at any time on a situation. You have to be willing to take all of the information and really be skeptical of all of it, but look into all of it. Not just one viewpoint, because you're never going to get a truth going with just one viewpoint. So just remember that. Open your eyes to every possibility, everybody's statements, everybody's everything, and then make your decision. before you
And
come at
plus,
people.
yeah, this is so new. It's so new. So there's a lot more going to come out. So, yeah, just don't take everything you hear as truth unless you investigate it. And, there's a lot of ways you can find out information.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A lot. Well, guys, I hate to, but I have to work in the morning. Does anybody else on the panel want to go live, or do y'all want to meet back up tomorrow night? Or
Yeah, we can meet back up tomorrow.
That's fine.
yeah, because tomorrow they have court, and we can kind of watch that and see what happens.
What time is that?
1 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then, we can regroup and go over everything. And so, but Joey, I appreciate you. Everybody else, guys, I appreciate you. Look at me taking over She Sheds Live. Go for it, She Sheds.
You are fine. I appreciate everybody on the panel, everybody that's in the chat. If you guys will follow the panel, if y'all want to come back and join us tomorrow night, Ivory and them, they got it. We've all been working on it. I'm so tired. I was up till 4 o'clock this morning digging.
And just remember, guys, ask questions. Don't make accusations. Don't throw statements. Just ask questions. There's nothing wrong with an honest question.
Yep. And we'll regroup back here tomorrow evening.
Oh,
Everybody's,
one thing.
well, yes.
If you're trying to DM me, I got suspended. I cannot be DM'd. Okay.
Can we DM your wife if need be?
Yes, ma'am. My wife, you can definitely DM. Yes.
All right.
Awesome. Yeah,
Thank you,
everybody.
Joey.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me up.
Yes, anytime, and we'll see you back tomorrow night.
See you guys tomorrow.
Bye,
Good night,
guys.
everybody. Good night.
Thank you, everybody.